A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
This I believe. As Stevenson said, the world is full of a number of things. But even kings, including those of industry, can be unhappy. Elon G. Borton, President and General Manager of the Advertising Federation of America, has mastered the knack of sorting out the things in life of real importance, as he now proves.
My father, who died 17 years ago at the age of 84, had a religious faith which I envied him, but which I could not accept in my younger days. He believed implicitly in God as a personal God, intimately and directly concerned with and watching over him as an individual. I cannot yet go all the way with him, even though I still envy him his unquestioning faith and assurance. But more and more with the years, I am convinced that a great, all-knowing and loving force established this universe and rules it. In my farm childhood and in my present gardening hobby, I know that one seed unfadingly produces a gorgeous tall flower. Another, seemingly very much like it, grows into a shy little plant, and still another brings forth a towering tree. A 2-year-old neighbor boy is the image of his grandfather in features and in characteristics, while his sister is a miniature of her mother. The planets and the sea follow predictable courses, and the seasons march in ordered progress. Like the friends of Job in the Bible, I have again and again wondered over the seeming success of mean and wicked men, and the apparent failure of good men. But always, as I watched and probed, I found that ultimately the balance evened in some way. So also with nations, as witness Mussolini and Hitler, and as Stalin will finally prove. Grief and misfortune have hit me and my friends, and at the time these misfortunes seemed cruel and unfair. In the end, they usually help develop sympathy and love and character in those afflicted. They worked out to long-time good. These things could not just happen. They are the product of a plan conceived and administered by some force far wiser and greater and kinder than mere man. My work as an association executive brings me into contact with thousands of men and women from all parts of the nation and from all walks of life. I served at the front in World War I, where rough conditions tore away pretense and revealed the real in men. I have been a salesman and a teacher. Out of those contacts has come a great respect for and confidence in people. Covered up as it often is with seeming meanness and sometimes cruelty, down inside most men and women is an essential goodness which governs their life in crises. Black or white or yellow, Buddhist, Christian or Jew, it makes no difference. The human race strives ever upward toward the ideal. Caspar Milquetoast rises to real courage in war. The criminal always loves someone. The lowly struggle for self-respect and achievement, and peoples the world around strive for freedom. Each of us has an inner vision toward which he climbs. As a people, grumbling about too many fund drives, we yet give generously to a host of public service causes. Let disaster strike a community here or abroad, and our whole nation responds instantly. We see graft and corruption in high and low places. We complain that our generation is growing soft. We witness racial and religious intolerance. But with it all, the world grows steadily better. Behind the surface, we respond to the fine in life. This, then, I believe. There is a loving, just God who established this universe, set up the laws which govern it, and still watches over it. There is essential goodness in my fellow men which I can trust and rely on. There is within me a capacity for understanding and growth by which I can live up to this godhood and manhood.
That was Elon G. Borton, whose business is selling things, but whose life is sparked with values that money cannot buy.
The Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation brings you Crime Photographer.
Did you see where my niece got engaged last week?
Oh, is her name Princess Elizabeth?
No, her name's Jane.
Then I didn't see it.
How do you like that? If you're not royalty, no one knows what happens to you.
You don't have to be royalty, Ethelbert. You just got to be famous.
Sure, like Anchor Hocking, the most famous name in glass. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tony Marvin. Every week at this time, the Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation of Lancaster, Ohio, and its more than 10,000 employees bring you another adventure of Casey, crime photographer, ace cameraman who covers the crime news of a great city. Written by Alonzo Dean Cole, our adventure for tonight, Self-Made Hero. Casey, like most news cameramen, has a radio in his automobile that he keeps tuned to police calls. Tonight, as he and reporter Ann Williams drive leisurely toward the Express building after covering a routine assignment.
Calling car 55. Car 55. Come in, car 55. Car 55, Sergeant Brannon.
Brannon? Hey, we know Sergeant Brannon.
He's a
good pal of mine, Annie. I didn't know they had him on prowl car duty.
Frisco. Report of shooting there. Proceed to
shooting?
alleyway on...
Hey, wait a minute. It'll be repeated. Listen.
Clark and Frisco. Report of shooting there. No further details. That is all.
Oh, more Casey, like we're only a few blocks from there. Maybe there's a story.
With pictures.
Next stop, 12th Street.
Between Clark and Frisco.
Oh, usual crowds collected, Casey.
And there comes a police car, Annie. We're getting here to jump ahead of Brannon. Get out. Come on.
Okay.
All right, get back, you people. Get back. This ain't no
Well,
circus.
there's a patrolman over there,
The young
Casey.
fellow beside him must have had something to do with the shooting.
Why, he's just a tall, lanky boy,
I said
Casey.
get back, everybody. That means you and this lady, mister.
And we're press officers.
Oh, you're pressed, huh? Where's the car?
Well, here comes your sergeant. He knows us. Hello there, Brannon.
Oh, hiya, Casey. Hello, Miss Williams.
Hello, Sergeant.
What's the trouble, Johnson? Why, this young fella here, Sergeant, he says someone took a couple of pot shots at him back in that alleyway.
I didn't call for assistance, officer, until I'd done everything possible to help myself.
Well, let's get inside this cigar store, then it can tell me what happened. Come on, Casey. All right, move back there. Let us through, will you? Come on, one side. Now, then, let's have your story, Bud. What's your name?
The name is Wellington Cliffside. Only one S in Cliffside. At present employed as junior pharmacist at Black's 10th Street drugstore.
Uh-huh.
I see you carry a camera, Mr. Casey.
Yeah.
Well, anytime you say. I believe in cooperating with the newspapers.
Now, wait a minute. I'm only a cop, but I still want to know what this shooting was about.
Oh, certainly, Sergeant. Well, as I've already told Officer Johnson, during the past month I became suspicious of two men who've been making telephone calls from the drugstore.
Mm-hmm.
I made it my business to overhear parts of their conversation. And what I heard, Sergeant, convinced me that they are spies.
Spies?
Foreign agents. Well, they must have become suspicious of my suspicions. For tonight, they acted.
Acted?
Yes, sir. A few minutes ago, I was standing there at the corner waiting for a young lady of my acquaintance when these two men passed me.
The two men have been making the mysterious phone calls, huh?
Yes, sir. I saw them go into the dark, deserted alley back of us. I followed them. Now I know they meant to lure me to my death. For when I entered the alley...
He says they grabbed him, Sarge.
Let him tell the story, Johnson.
Well, they seized me, Sergeant. One of them slashed at me with a knife. Oh, look, you can see the tears he made in my overcoat.
There in the left sleeve, huh?
Mm-hmm. And here in the front.
The knife didn't get stuck into you yourself?
No, I broke away, and they ran, with me in hot pursuit.
Uh-huh.
Then they pulled guns and started shooting.
The bullets missed you.
I was lucky. I chased them to the end of the alley.
With them shooting?
I considered it my duty, Sergeant.
Then what happened?
Then I found that they'd disappeared, probably into one of the buildings on this street. I knew I couldn't find them all by myself, so I yelled. I should say I shouted for assistance. This policeman came up and, well, he can tell you the rest.
There ain't no rest, Sarge. Except I couldn't find no mysterious strangers around like this young fella described.
Okay, Johnson. Did this guy show you where the shooting and stabbing took place in that alley?
Yes, I did, Sergeant. I'll show you.
You stay here. Roberts.
Yes, sir?
You keep Mr. Wellington Rockside company while I have a look around out here. Come on, Johnson, and show
It's
me.
Wellington Cliffside, Sergeant.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Well, Mr. Casey, I suppose you want to take some pictures of me for your newspaper.
Yeah, I think you're worth a couple of pictures, fella. Hold up that overcoat sleeve to show the tear in it while I back off and get you in focus.
All right.
That's a terribly phony story that he told, Casey.
Phonies can make good laugh copy, Annie. Kid's an amateur Dick Tracy.
I'll hold out the front of my overcoat, too, Mr. Casey, so you can get a picture of the knife cut there.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, Wellington, now hold it. Thank you.
Wellington! Wellington, oh, let me through, please. Wellington.
Myrna.
Look at that girl, Casey.
Bobby sucks.
Oh, Wellington, they told me how those awful men had tried to kill you. Oh, you're not hurt.
Oh, well, I got the best of them, Myrna. But you can see what they did to my coat.
Wellington. Oh, isn't it lucky you had on your old one?
Excuse me, Mr. Cliffside. Is this the young lady you were waiting for?
Oh, yes, Mr. Casey. Miss Williams, Mr. Casey, this is Miss Myrna Adams. Mr. Casey is on a newspaper, Myrna. He's just been taking pictures of me.
Oh, how nice.
How do you do, Miss
I
Adams?
knew all about those spies Wellington was after, Mr. Casey. I was the only one he told about them. Oh, Wellington, you've been wonderful. If they'd hurt you, I don't know what I'd do.
Oh, gee, Myrna, it was...
Sergeant Brannan's coming back, Casey, and there's a woman with him.
Ah, Sergeant. Did you find any clues in the alley that might help us catch those spies?
Plenty, young fella. Is this the guy, Mrs. Levy?
That's him, Sergeant. That long string bean of a kid.
What?
This lady lives in the flat building next to the alley. She happened to be looking out of her window when you were cutting holes in your own coat with a penknife.
All the windows were dark in the alley. The alley was dark.
I got the kind of eyes what see good at night. And why should I burn electricity when I'm only looking out my window? I mind my own business. I wouldn't tell the cops if they hadn't come asking me if I saw something.
And she saw you fire those shots.
I didn't fire any shots.
No, but you set off some homemade firecrackers that sounded like shots. Here's pieces of them I found back there.
Sergeant, look.
I saw you light a match to those firecrackers, young man.
Firecrackers?
Myrna.
There weren't any spies. No one tried to kill you. This was all a bluff.
Myrna, look.
You cheater, you cheap rug cutter, you firecracker shooter, you faker.
You gotta listen to me.
I never want to see you again.
Don't go away, Myrna, don't.
Yeah, you stay here, mister.
Will you? I gotta explain to her. You gotta let me explain, Sergeant, please.
She's gone. You've got some explaining to do to the judge after I run you in. Hey, Roberts, make out your report on this guy, and we'll take him to the station.
Okay, Sarge, come on.
All right.
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah? What, Casey?
Don't run that kid in.
And why not?
Well, couldn't you see he was making a grandstand play for that Bobby Sox gal, and it flopped? Oh, he's already taken one on the chin and hard.
Now, look, Casey, we cops have too much trouble with his kind of
I
police.
know, but do me a favor, will you, Brandon? I'll do one for you sometime.
I don't make trades. But I don't get any kick out of pinching goofy kids either. Look, Casey, you can have Wellington Brookside if you only take him away from here. If you don't, well, that mob out there has heard what's happened, and they'll kid him right.
I'll take him away.
Okay, thanks, Casey. I'll tell him to get in your car.
Hey, what's the idea, Casey?
I don't like to see a kid KO'd twice in one night, Annie. Look, and when you get to the office, kid, don't write this story, for laughs or otherwise. I'm forgetting the pictures I took.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
All right, come on. I'm going to drive the kid home, and I'll drop you on the way. Well, here you are, Annie.
Okay. So long, Casey. Goodbye, Wellington.
Goodbye, Miss Williams.
See you in a little while, Annie.
Okay.
Hey, kid, is that Wellington name, is that on the level?
My name is Jack.
Jack? Oh, that's my name. Okay, Jack.
I don't want to bother you, Mr. Casey.
It's no bother. Look, forget that Mr. stuff. Just plain Casey's all I rate. Cigarette?
Yeah, thanks. I was too ashamed to open my mouth while Miss Williams was with us. Now I want you to know I think it was swell of you to talk the cops into letting me go.
Sergeant Brannon was only looking for an excuse not to run you in. He's a regular guy.
I deserve to be run in. I must have been crazy to think I could get away with what I tried to do.
Well, all of us are a little nutty at times, I guess. We get over it, though. Here's some matches for that cigarette.
Huh? Oh, thanks.
Pretty kid, Miss Adams.
Yeah.
You like to tell me about her? Often does a guy good to get things off his chest.
Yeah. Mr. Casey, I've got a bum back.
You got bum back?
I fell down a flight of stairs a couple of years ago, and now I've got to wear a steel corset to keep it in place.
Oh. Well, your bum back and the steel corset have anything to do
Everything.
with
You see, Myrna, Miss Adams admires guys who do things. You know, like Clark Gable and Gary Cooper in the movies.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Well, I told her about my bum back. But I said it got hurt while I was playing football. I said I'd been the star halfback in high school. Then she found out I've never been a good enough athlete to even get on a girls' softball team. And that I just stumbled over my own feet going downstairs. Since then, she hasn't believed anything I've told her. Except for maybe a minute tonight before the cops called my bluff. She thinks I am, well, just what I am. Big, skinny clown who can't do anything regular guys can do. Outside of my own imagination.
Maybe if somebody talked to Myrna, she might look at things a little differently. Miss Williams might do that.
No, Miss Williams is another girl. She couldn't do any good. Oh, you might, though.
Me?
Yeah, she respects old guys.
Old?
Well, I don't mean you're so very old, but you must be all of 30.
Yeah? Pretty ancient, huh?
And you're in the newspaper racket. You must know cops and murderers and... Gee, I bet you've even talked to G-men and movie stars. Oh, Myrna will think you're almost as important a guy as Clark Gable or even Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, now,
Oh, she'll listen to you, Casey. Will you go to her and explain that I'm not just a heel?
Now, listen, Jack,
oh, please, Casey.
Well, okay, fella.
Oh, gee. Thanks.
No use, Mr. Casey. I think it's very fine of you to try to defend Mr. Cliffside, but I never want to hear his name again. I consider him a drip.
Oh, no. Don't be like that, Miss Adams. He's a nice kid. He's crazy about you.
No, Mr. Casey. He and I are through. Forever.
I'm sorry. Well, there's nothing more I can say, so I'll shove off.
Oh, don't rush away. You've talked so much about Mr. Cliffside, I haven't heard a thing about you.
Me?
Uh-huh. You've rescued people from burning buildings and captured burglars single-handed, and you're a real hero.
Whoever told you that was having a pipe dream.
Oh, no, you're just being modest, like I think all men should be.
Say, look, where did I put my hat, Miss Adams?
Oh, come on. Please sit down, Mr. Casey.
No,
and let's get better acquainted. There. I've always wanted to meet a man like you.
We'll continue in just a moment. Good evening, Dorothy.
Hello, Tony. What's our subject tonight?
Pie plates.
Pie plates?
Mm-hmm. Pie plates. Not ordinary pie plates, but a new kind of pie plate. The biggest bargain in years.
Why, it's made of glass.
Well, this is the Anchor Hawking program, and this new Fire King oven glass pie plate is something special.
For instance?
It bakes pie you can be proud of, not once in a while, but every time. Crusts are light, fluffy, and well-browned and never scorched. And it comes clean almost instantly without scrubbing.
Well, you've sold me, Tony.
Yes, this big 9-inch Fire King oven glass pie plate with a 2-year guarantee against oven breakage is being featured tomorrow and Saturday at 5 and 10 cent stores and all stores that sell household glass at a special bargain price of only 25 cents, slightly more in distant cities. Look for the Fire King label. Ask for it by name. Not just an oven glass pie plate, but a Fire King oven glass pie plate. A product of Anchor Hawking. The most famous name in glass.
Give me a cup of black coffee, Ethelbert.
Okay, Casey. You want one, Miss Williams?
No, thanks, Ethelbert.
Casey, you look like you got troubles.
I'll say he has, Ethelbert. In a neat red-headed package, trimmed with short skirts and a pair of bobby socks, a hero worship complex, and a very unbashful personality.
It isn't funny, Ann.
You're talking about a woman, huh?
Oh, not a woman, no. A goofy 17-year-old kid that ought to be spanked. Wish I had the nerve to do it.
She's developed a crush on Casey. Phones him at the office several times a day and waits for him on the street so she can gaze at him and sigh.
Casey, how did you get yourself into anything like that? You ain't no cradle snatcher.
Ethelbert, all I did was to call on her one afternoon last week in order to try and square something for somebody else.
She isn't the girl that Cliffside kid set off the firecrackers on account of.
That's who. Huh? But Cliffside doesn't know yet that Casey squared things so beautifully.
Will you get it, Walter?
Yeah, I put off telling him that she won't listen to anything that I say in his favor because, well, he's miserable enough as it is. You know, he phones me a couple of times a day, too, Ethelbert, to ask how I'm making out with her. I can't stall him much longer. Oh, I must have been nuts to get myself mixed up in something like this.
Telephone for you, Mr. Casey.
Why? Who is it?
Mr. Cliffside, sir.
I thought I was about due for my nightly call from him. He's probably been trying to get me at the office.
Well, since you can't help him, you better stop stalling and tell him the truth, Casey.
Oh, I can't, Annie. Excuse me.
You know, Miss Williams, Casey sure has a talent for getting himself into situations that ain't too easy to get out of.
Hello?
Casey?
Yeah, Jack. How are you, fella?
Casey, I just learned the truth.
Huh?
About you and Myrna.
What do you mean?
I met her on the street a while ago. She told me nothing could ever be fixed up between her and me, and that she was in love with you.
Damn. Now, listen,
I
kid.
guess swell stunt you pulled. Kidding me into thinking you were my friend and then double-crossing me.
Listen to me,
I've listened to you long enough. I called up now to let you know that what you've done is the last straw. When I leave this phone, I'm going to the river.
The river?
I don't want to live any longer, Casey. I'm going to end it all.
You young dope, where are you?
Never mind where I am.
Jack, I've got to meet you. I've got to talk to you.
You or no one else is ever going to talk to me again. I won't be in your way after tonight, Casey. You can have Myrna.
I don't want Myrna. Jack!
You're right, Casey.
Jack! Hey, kid! Hey! Operator! Operator! Operator!
This is the operator.
Look, what was the number that just called here?
You've been disconnected, sir.
I know that. Oh, never mind. Annie.
Yes, Casey?
Annie, that darn fool kid says he's going to throw himself in the river.
What?
The way he sounded, I don't think he's bluffing. We got to stop him, Annie.
You know where he is?
No. But there's only one place that kid had picked for a suicide, the cliff at Rocky Point.
You mean the place they call Lover's Leap?
Yes.
Oh, but Casey, that's way
I
out
know
on the...
how far it is, Annie. But he wasn't calling from around there because there isn't a public telephone within a mile of the place. You'll have to reach it by bus, but we've got a car. Look, Annie, I may need you to convince him that I'm not trying to steal his Myrna. Come on.
Casey, if that crazy kid has picked another spot on the river to throw himself in...
I'm not afraid of that, Annie. What I'm afraid of is we may not get there in time. If he does jump, Ann, I'll be responsible.
Now, don't talk like that.
It's such a mess of it.
No, you have not. It was that little fool of a girl who did that. No, I'd like to wring her neck.
Well, there's no use blaming her.
Oh.
Mrs. Bard, you'd better go with the car. I'll run it off the road among the trees here and turn off the lights. If he saw it, he'd suspect I was after him. Maybe he'd get away. Because if he hasn't gotten here ahead of us
now
and already...
Stop thinking like that, Casey.
Well, get out of the car and come on, Annie.
All right.
We'll go out to the cliff through these trees. It's pretty bright. What we've seen on the road.
Oh, this is a horrible, desolate place.
Yeah. Annie, we can see the edge of the cliff from here. And there's no one on it.
Well, that means he hasn't gotten here yet.
May mean he has gotten
now,
here.
Now, will you stop imagining things? Hey, Casey, someone's coming through the trees on the other side of the road down there.
Where? I see.
Someone tall and lanky.
It's a kid. He's going toward the edge.
Yeah, he sees you. He's running, too, for the edge.
Hey, wait, kid, wait! I gotta talk to you. No one's ever gonna talk to me again. Jack, you've got to let me talk.
Run, Casey! He's almost at the edge.
Hey, stop!
You can't reach him in time. Oh, he stumbled. Grab him before he gets up.
I got it. Let me go over here.
He hadn't stumbled. He's only a few feet away from the ledge.
Young fella, for the scare you've given us, I ought to knock your teeth out.
Why don't you stop me? What do you care what happens to me?
He shouldn't care. Can't you realize that Casey's only interested in Myrna because, well, he was trying to help you? And let this sink in. If I weren't sure that he couldn't have any romantic notions about a child like your Myrna, I wouldn't be here with him.
You mean that you're Casey's real girlfriend, Miss Williams?
Oh, well, use your own judgment, if you have any.
I should have figured that. I'm sorry, Casey.
Well, okay, kid. Now, we're taking you back to town. We'll cut through these woods to the car.
All right. I can't stop you from taking me back, but I still don't want to live, Casey. While I was wrong about you, I wasn't wrong about having lost Myrna. She told me herself tonight that she hated me.
Jack, there are millions of girls in the world. Must you have just one particular one?
I don't want anybody else. Ever.
Brother, you're a true monogamist. Hey, car's turned into the road. Wait a minute. Wonder if the driver knows it's a dead end at the edge of the cliff. Yeah, guess he's seen where he was heading. He stopped. Say, wait. Let's see who this is.
Hey, Casey, that man getting out.
Holding his hands above his head.
Yeah, guy getting out behind him has a gun.
Man, that guy with a gun is Blackie Owen.
The racketeer?
Yes.
Don't, Blackie. Give me a chance. Don't.
Oh, he shot him, Casey.
Be quiet, both of you. Keep back of these trees, out of sight.
Okay.
Blackie Owens is a dead shot, and none of us has a gun. If he knew we'd seen what we have seen, our lives wouldn't be worth a nickel.
He's getting back in the car.
He's driving away.
Wait. Don't move from here till he turns off this branch road. Okay. Now let's go over and look at the body. Annie, Blackie Owens is one of the dirtiest gang leaders in this town. The cops have never been able to nail him. What we've just seen will send him to the chair and give us a front-page exclusive. Jack, I could kiss you. We wouldn't have been here if it hadn't been for you.
Casey, how can you think of front pages when you've just seen a guy murdered?
We get used to things like murder in the newspaper racket. Well, there he is.
Well, do you recognize him, Casey?
I certainly do. That gives me a good reason not to be too unhappy about this shooting. The guy who just had his last ride was Twist Yacob.
Why, he was Blackie Owen's chief gunman.
That's right, Annie. Blackie gave it to him right between the eyes.
He's dead.
As a last year's daisy.
Never seen a dead guy before. It's awful.
Yeah. Remember that the next time you think of bumping yourself off, kid. Now, come on to the car. Let me get a camera and shoot some pictures of this.
There'll be no...
What? Casey.
Hello, Blackie.
Stick up your hands. All of you.
Okay.
I wouldn't have come back if I hadn't seen your car parked off the road after I turned the bend. It gave me the idea that there might have been witnesses to what occurred here a few minutes ago. And I don't want witnesses.
He's going to kill us.
Take it easy, Jack.
The young man, unfortunately for all of you, is right. You see, I prepared a very good alibi for this evening that your testimony would kind of spoil. I'll give you all your choice. Where would you like it? Between the eyes, like Yakko? Through the heart or in the stomach? You know, I pride myself that I never miss.
If it's all the same to you, Blackie, I'd prefer not to be shot. Yeah, you should have known better than to stand so close to a guy you meant to plug.
You got his gun, Casey. You got his gun.
Yes, I have. Now, Blackie, we'll go to my car, get a camera, and take some nice pictures of you. Now, be good. Stick your hands in the air and get going.
Okay, but don't you want this...
What are you picking up there?
Can't you see? Pair of gloves. The lady dropped them when she stuck up her hands a minute ago. No use leaving them on the road. Yeah, miss.
Oh, yeah, they are my gloves. Hey, Casey!
He's grabbed
Let her
it.
go!
Drop that gun you took from me, Casey. When you try to shoot it, you'll have to shoot through this dame first.
He's holding her in front of him.
Let me go!
I always carry two gats, and you gave me a chance to get the second one, sap. Now drop that rod or I shoot this dame. Go on. Drop it.
You win, Blackie.
I thought I would. Now get over there with your friends, lady. I want to see you all in line like clay pipes in a shooting gallery. You're going to be first, kid.
Me?
Yeah. And you get it in the belly.
Jack!
Killed him.
Yeah, that's right. Guess I'll save you to the last, Casey.
Lady, you're next. I'm going to make this shot precise. Right between the eyes.
Those shots! Blackie's fallen.
I shot him, Casey. I got him, Miss Williams.
Jack, you shot him.
The bullet he shot at me hit the steel of the corset I wear for my back. I glanced off. But I pretended I was dead, and I fell close to the gun he made you drop, Casey. I've never shot anyone before.
Boy, I'm glad you shot somebody this time, kid.
I am a hero. I am a hero.
We'll join the crowd at the Blue Note in just a moment. Extra, extra, read all about it.
Great new discovery makes beer and ale easy to enjoy.
It's a new kind of bottle.
A different kind of bottle.
It requires no deposit.
No fussing with pennies.
You don't have to return it.
No bother with empty.
Just pour out the beer
and throw the bottle away.
It's light as a feather.
No arm-weary lugging.
It's sturdy and compact.
Saves space in the icebox.
It's easy to open.
And safe to drink from.
It belongs on the table.
It's at home on a picnic.
And, brother, what flavor?
That true brewery flavor.
Protected by glass.
As only glass can protect it.
Yes, the revolutionary new Anchor Glass one-way, no-deposit bottle is sweeping America. For flavor that's brewery bright, demand beer in bottles. For safety and convenience, demand your favorite brand in the new Anchor Glass one-way, no-deposit bottle. Product of Anchor Hocking. The most famous name in glass.
Say, Casey, didn't you and Miss Williams kind of overdo that stuff about Wellington Cliffside in this morning's paper? No guy's ever been that much of a nature's noble man.
Boy, you'd have thought he was if you'd been there, Ethelbert.
I'm standing in our exact spot.
Well, maybe you're right. How did it go down with his girlfriend, who wanted to be Casey's girlfriend? Huh?
Swell. She was barely civil to me when I saw her today with Jack. I understand they're engaged, too.
Well, as my sister Edna says, quote, the only thing wrong with the younger generation is that it grows older.
Unquote.
What does that mean?
Crime Photographer, starring Stotts Cotsworth as Casey, is brought to you each Thursday by Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation, makers of Fire King oven glass, Anchor glass containers, Anchor caps and closures. All products of Anchor Hocking, the most famous name in glass. Crime Photographer is directed by John Dietz. The original music is by Archie Blyer, and the program features Miss Jan Miner as Anne and John Gibson as Ethelbert. The part of Jack Cliffside was played by Jack Grimes, and Herman Chittison is the Blue Note pianist. This is Tony Marvin saying goodnight for the Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation of Lancaster, Ohio, with offices in all principal cities of the United States and Canada. Thursday night on CBS is the biggest show in town, so stay tuned for exciting dramatizations on Reader's Digest Radio Edition, which follows immediately over most of these stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
This, I believe. Emory F. Tobin's father went to Alaska in the gold rush of 1898. Emory Tobin followed him there after serving in France in World War I. He worked as a newspaperman and in 1935 founded the Alaska Sportsman, a magazine which holds a mirror to life on the last frontier. This is Emory Tobin's creed.
A man cannot live in a country such as Alaska without often stopping to wonder about creation. Here he sees high mountains, vast glaciers, mysterious northern lights, some of the world's largest animals, great forests and tundra carpeting the ground, and in the winter an awesome silence that you most can hear falls over all. I believe that there is a plan for the universe, and it is being consummated. It is so tremendous that we, little creatures that we are, cannot hope to grasp it. Below us in the scheme of things are still smaller, but amazingly intricate organisms, microscopic life. Everything is fearfully, wonderfully made, defying duplication. It is evident to me that a part that does not fit into the plan or does not fulfill the purpose for which it was intended is soon discarded or destroyed. Man cannot create, but he can serve as a worker, a gardener perhaps, dispensing loving care and protection on all God's wonderful works, and bringing the beautiful living things to their full fruition. I believe that every living thing on this earth has its task to do. The birds scatter seed, bees transfer the pollen of the plants, worms pulverize the ground, aerating it to make the plant food available to the roots. We are also here to serve, but surely not to serve only ourselves. That would be a useless purpose. While we generate force towards service, we must at the same time endeavor to maintain ourselves at a high level of efficiency and seek to attain the perfection of mind of the great builder. If we are not here to serve and improve ourselves as we have been doing from the dawn of time and up from the slime, then what purpose was there in creating us? I have had demonstrated to my own satisfaction again and again that an architect of supreme intelligence is all about me, ready and eager to help so long as I do my work and live as he intended. Nor do I neglect to thank and praise him for all these wonderful things that become mine or are evident everywhere about me. I try never to worry, for I know that worry is a great killer. I need not worry if I do my best. I study and work to improve myself and the small portion of the world that is around me. I know that like every other living thing, I have a reason for being. I try to be a good worker in God's great garden and consider myself duty-bound to use and keep sharp the tools He has given me, my hands, my brain, and all my other faculties. The things that I do need not be momentous in the usual sense. A smile, a pat on the back, or a word of praise or encouragement to man or dog is very much worthwhile. A bit of work for community, state, or nation to make it better. Pointing the way or making a task lighter for someone else. These are the things that count and make happiness for the doer. I believe that if I give to the world the best I have, the best will come back to me.
That was Emory F. Tobin of Ketchikan, publisher of the Alaska Sportsman.
Now, Crime Does Not Pay, starring Frank Albertson as Lon Tilden in Horseface. It was one of those off-the-beaten-path amusement districts. The bars were dingy, fly-specked, their windows curtained half their height with wrinkled green duvetine. The theaters, garish with naked white lights over 50-odd still photos from the movies inside, played scratched prints of 5-year-old pictures which had made no success even in their heydays. The dance halls were as aged and overpainted outside as their hostesses within, and just as weary. But there was money to be made here, not exactly honestly. And the usual type of half-criminal found the district good pickings. That's why Lon Horse-Faced Tilden, his girlfriend Ginny Landis, and his pal Artie Ewing were casing, as the saying goes, the joint that was run by Dimes Wilson.
Well, what do you think of it, Artie? Ain't been painted in 10 years. Jenny?
That music sure isn't for dancers. If that outfit gets more than 50 cents a night, it's highway robbery.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Crowd ain't bad, though. A couple of blondes on the dance floor. See that? They ought to do all right, huh? Jenny? What's your expert, I tell you?
Take the girdles off Artie's blondes, and there wouldn't be room for anybody else on the dance floor. The rest of them, trying for 25, they look 35, probably average 45. The paint jobs are all pretty sloppy, too.
Yeah. In other words, Dimes ought to be doing all right now. It looks awful cheap to me. How many times I got to draw you a picture, Artie? We just cased the joint. It's costing Dimes practically nothing to run it, but he's got a good house. Okay, he's making money. Let's go. Shep.
You know where the office is, Lon?
It's always in the back in a joint like this. Pardon me, Blake. Let us through, please, will you? Hey, get a load of the cologne in that thing.
Yeah, cheap. Spell it C-H-A-P.
Huh? I don't get it. Okay, kid, save the spear. Here we are. Manager. You ready? Set.
The usual?
The usual. Here we go.
Who are you? Did your mother teach you to knock on closed doors?
I figured you wouldn't have no dame in here with a full house outside.
So what?
You're Dimes Wilson, right?
What's it to you?
My assistants. Virginia Landis, Artie Ewing. I'm Lon Tilden.
Oh, Horse-Faced Tilden, huh? I wondered why they called you that. Now I see.
Now cracks. The face I was born with is good enough for me.
How'd you like it changed with a bullet?
Hey, this fella plays it tough.
Don't get wise with that heater, Wilson. Put the gun away, Dimes. I come to talk business.
And talk all you want, but I'm telling you now, there's no deal.
Oh? That might be. Jenny, front and center.
Sure, Lon. Want the man to look me over?
She's a sample, Dimes, of the kind of hostesses I can send you. Instead of that broken-down beef trust you're peddling outside.
Maybe my taste is different from yours, Tilden.
Could be. But you'll do better business.
Listen, smart guy, I know my business. I put in dames like this down. I got to paint the joint, get a decent band, raise the price.
You'll do all those things, Dimes. All of them. You're booking my girl, see? I dropped in tonight just to let you know. This is my territory from here on in.
Save the talk, Horseface. You're out of bounds. I service every hall in the district, and I'm keeping it that way. So get out and stay out. Unless you'd like to see your baby doll here ventilated.
You, want it this way, huh, Dimes?
I want it, and I got it. Now, you beat it.
Okay. For now. You'll be hearing from me, Dimes. Bear that in mind. Just bear that in mind.
Come in for a while, Lon?
You know Artie's waiting downstairs. Give me a kiss goodnight, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Careful, darling. Please be careful.
Careful of what, sugar?
Dimes wasn't fooling. He's got enough hoods working for him.
Artie and me, back to back, we can handle anything.
For my sake, Lon. Leave Dimes alone.
Now, don't you worry your beautiful head about a thing, cutie. Just get a good night's sleep, huh? You kiss me like that again, I will leave Artie outside.
All right. I will.
Business before pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow, kid.
Be careful, Lon, please. Please be careful.
Yeah. That you, Lon? Who were you expecting, Dimes Wilson? Didn't think it'd be done so quick. Business before dames. I wonder if Dimes is expecting us.
I hope not. He's awful fast with a piece.
Yeah, he's got to see us first.
You sure this is the way to do it, man? Huh?
You know Dimes, Rep. He's got his boys looking for us already.
Why'd he let us leave his joint?
Only dopes do any killing in their own joints. Dimes is no dope.
Say that again. Ginny worried?
Yeah, you know dames.
I'm worried myself. And I ain't no dame.
Okay. So my way is the way to take care of it. Quick and quiet. When Dimes ain't looking for nothing.
Yeah, but his boys...
His boys will work for me. Once we take care of their boss. In this racket, it's the dough that counts. Who pays it don't matter.
Could be. If we get away with this tonight.
We'll get away with it. Dimes always uses the back door of his joint. He's got to come through that little alley between his place and the movie. His guys are all out looking for us, so it's a perfect setup.
Just a minute, you two. Hey, two guys, get out of that car past us.
Take it easy, Art.
We told you to stop.
Go fly a kite.
All right, you two, against that wall. Hold both the
Hey, quit shoving. What's the big idea?
You must get against that wall.
You said make us.
Yeah, try it. Get up and do as you're told.
Artie, stick and slide.
You quit. Look out, they got guns.
Have a piece, Mark.
Nice shooting, boy.
Yeah, quick, check that pockets. Yeah, right. Artie, this one's got a badge in his wallet.
Mine, too.
Hey, let's get out of here. We've knocked off a couple of cops.
Cops? But I thought they was dime boys.
Get the lead out of your pants. We've killed cops, you hear? We've killed cops.
Why didn't she open up? Why didn't she open the door?
She sleeps sound. Oh, here she is.
Don. Artie, what happened?
Let us in quick.
You got Dimes.
I wish we did.
Shut up, Artie. Jenny, give him a drink or something.
All right. What happened?
I'll tell you in a minute. Hey, I need one of those, too.
Sure, Artie.
Thanks. Thanks.
Ma?
Yeah. Okay.
What do you look like? You shot a cop or something?
Not a cop. Two of them.
Lon! For heaven's sake.
They thought they was Dimes boys. They wanted to frisk us or something, I guess.
Didn't they flash no badges?
There was no time. They said, get against the wall. Lon said, stick him throat.
We let them have it.
What are you going to do? Oh, Lon, you know what they do to cop killers.
They haven't got me yet.
Oh, not
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Oh, shut up. Both of you. Let me think. Okay, I got it. Jenny?
Yeah.
You're going to sit tight here. That's best for you. Now, the cops never had nothing on me. They never even had a tail on me. So they don't know nothing about you. You're clean. Got that?
Yes. Yes, I get it.
What about me?
Look, that aunt of yours. The one with the farm upstate.
Yeah?
She hasn't seen you in a long time. You're paying her a visit. You're leaving tonight.
Now? By myself?
Now, by yourself. Yeah, take another drink. Then beat it for the station. Take the first train. Got that?
Yeah, okay, I'll try it.
What about you? Oh, Lon, darling, what about you?
Well, I'm going to head in the opposite direction from Marty, see? Then, I'm going to get myself picked up.
Are you nuts?
Lon, you're crazy.
Am I? Crazy like a fox. Guns are ditched. Unarmed housebreaking. First offense. Why, the most I can get is 5 years.
5 years?
Artie will have most of the dough. You run out, he'll take care of it.
But 5 years, Lon.
Sugar, I'll be good as gold. I'll be out on probation in 18 months. Don't you see, kid? Nobody will dream of looking for a killer in the pen on a housebreaking rat. It's safe as aces. Then I get out, a new name, another state, and the three of us will be safe and happy as three bugs in a rug.
In just a moment, Crime Does Not Pay will continue with Horseface. Now we continue with Crime Does Not Pay, starring Frank Albertson as Lon Tilden in Horseface. To all intents and purposes, Lon Tilden's plan by which he hoped to escape the consequences of murder appeared successful. His pal, Artie, donned the jeans of a farmer and stayed out of sight completely. Lon himself went through with his idea and in due course occupied a cell in the state penitentiary on a 5-year sentence for housebreaking. Ginny prepared to wait for her man's parole. All was quiet. But in the meantime, wheels had been turning. They'd been turning ever since a passer-by had stumbled upon 2 prone bodies in a dark street. A phone call brought ambulances, police cars. In one of the cars was Lieutenant Dave Abbott. He rode with one ambulance to a hospital. And as dawn broke over the city, a nurse approached him in the corridor where he waited.
Lieutenant Abbott.
Yes, miss?
If you want to see Detective Clark, you'd better come now.
Is it very bad?
It's a miracle he's alive at all.
I see.
The doctor told me to ask you, be as gentle as you can. He hasn't much strength left.
Men with 38 slugs in their chest usually don't have, nurse.
Is he a particular friend of yours?
I brought him onto the force.
He's in here.
Thank you.
Please be as brief as possible, Lieutenant.
Hi, Joe. Hi.
Oh. Hey, you there?
That's right. Take it easy, fella. Save your strength.
I've been waiting for you. I have to tell you something. Or go along.
Hey, what kind of talk is that?
No use kidding anybody. Least of all myself. My own fault. Gave him a chance to draw. Max, he dead?
When he hit the pavement.
Yeah. I've been hanging on. I got to tell you something.
Now, take it easy, Joe.
One of them. Never saw him before. Bad light. Had nostrils. Like a horse.
Is that all you saw?
His hat fell off. Slick, dark hair. Thick eyebrows. Couldn't see the color of his eyes. They were narrow. Thin lips. 2 lines sides of mouth.
You did fine, Joe. In that bad light, you did fine.
Did I, Dave? Did I?
Joe. Nurse, you better get someone. I think he's gone.
There it is, Lieutenant. Best I can do, I guess.
You only guess, Scott?
Well, you know how it is. A man works in clay, he might never finish. Always something to fix. I don't want to add too much to that head from my own imagination.
Jack, it looks like what Joe told me he saw.
Yeah, slick hair, narrow eyes, thick brows, lines alongside the thin mouth.
Mm-hmm.
The nostrils gave me some trouble.
They look enough like a horse's. No wonder that stayed in Joe's mind.
Don't seem to belong in that face at all.
Broken nose, maybe?
No, not unless he fell on his face when he was a baby and it was never set properly. Could have been that way. Any number of reasons. What do you want me to do with this masterpiece?
Paint it. You know, usual routine. Then we'll photograph it, circulate it around the country. It's a lead, and you never can tell.
Yeah, it might be better than you think. Anybody ever saw that horse face could never forget it. Suppose anybody ever loved him besides his mother? Come over here, Tilden. In the light.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It might be.
Is it about my parole, Warden?
I'll ask the questions, Tilden.
Yes, sir.
You know, Tilden, you do have a rather remarkably individual face.
Yes, sir.
How did it happen? Your nose, I mean.
I was born with my face, sir.
No doubt. Tilden, you have a visitor.
Today, sir? Why, I was visiting day last week.
Yes, I know. Just a moment. All right, Lieutenant?
Yes, Warden. I had a good look at him in the light.
Good. Tilden?
Yes, sir?
This is Lieutenant Abbott, Metropolitan Police.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Abbott.
Thank you, Warden. Tilden, where were you on last June 4th?
Well, in Millville, sir. I was picked up for housebreaking there on the 5th.
We know that. We also happen to believe that you were in the city on the 4th.
Oh, no, sir.
Does this picture resemble anyone you know?
Well, nose looks like mine.
So do the eyes, Tilden. And the lips and the two lines alongside the mouth. In fact, it looks so much like you that the warden here noticed it when the circular reached him in regular routine. He noticed it even though he has 1,000 prisoners here, and you, I understand, have been very inconspicuous in your behavior.
Almost too inconspicuous, Tilden. You've been just too good to be true.
Oh, it's my first time in, sir. I want my parole as soon as I can earn it, sir.
The lieutenant is taking you with him. He has a court order on the strength of this picture here, and those we took for our files when you came in here.
Me? What for? I wasn't in the city.
A dying man is awfully careful to tell the truth, Tilden. Especially a dying cop.
You can't pin anything like that on me.
We think we can. Anyhow, we're going to give it a good try.
Well, I tell you, I never killed anybody.
Maybe not. In that case, you've got a twin somewhere.
I said I want my rights.
Save it, Tilden. Your street clothes are waiting for you. Get into them and behave yourself. Use that door over there.
Another hour, Tilden. I trust you're as uncomfortable as I am.
Yeah, you can be sure of that. Conductor's coming.
So what?
Well, when I came up, they wouldn't let me use the thing unless the conductor was there to lock the door.
Oh. Conductor.
Yes, sir?
My companion here wants to use your facilities. Will you lock him in for me?
Sure. Come on.
Make it snappy now.
Okay. There you are. Aren't you unlocking the handcuff, Lieutenant?
Yes, I'm unlocking it. And when you come out, you'll find yourself locked right back to my wrist all over again. All right, get going.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Bad one, huh? Cop killer, we think. We hope. You hear that, conductor?
Yeah, glass breaking in there.
Open the door.
Yes, sir. Hey, where is he?
Pull your emergency cord, quick.
Yeah, right.
Conductor, the outside door. Fast now.
Guy's crazy, jumping off the train at the speed we were making.
Crazy or desperate? He stopped off. He must be in the ditch.
Yeah, back about an eighth of a mile. There he goes. Across that field.
A long try.
You winged him.
No need to rush now. He'll finish his trip to town in an ambulance.
Lon, darling.
Jenny, are you nuts? Coming to the hospital?
The paper said you were shot. They didn't say how bad. How could I stay away?
That's The oldest cop trick in the world. They do that to see if anyone knows the man they shot.
I don't care. I don't care. Is it bad?
No, only the shoulder.
Why'd you do it, Lon? Why'd you run?
One of the two cops, he didn't die right away. He gave my description to his pal. They made a bust of me or something. The warden spotted it in the pictures they sent out.
Why did you try to get away? Oh, Lon.
You think I'd give him a chance to work me over? Even this is better than that.
But when you ran away, didn't you confess?
They can't prove a thing. Even if Divens tells him I was gunning for him. Hey, how'd you get in here so easy?
I just asked for you. Said I was your fiancé, and they let me right in.
That's too easy. It was too easy. Something's wrong.
Maybe they found Artie.
No, they don't even know he's alive.
When the cops shout, they work on cases like that forever.
They haven't got anything a good mouthpiece couldn't beat down in court. If they think they can get a confession out of me, they got another guess coming.
Oh, they got ways. Tests, all that. And they know now. They know you'd never have run away if you hadn't done it.
Nuts to that. Now, look, Jenny. Call Artie. I'll put his hands. It's Olinville 9036W. Tell him to use the extra fund. Get me a good mouthpiece. But to stay out of sight himself.
Yeah, I got it. Olinville 9036W. I'll tell him.
I'll call from a coin booth so nobody can trace your call.
Yeah.
That won't be necessary.
Why won't be, Copper?
You were so right about her getting in easy. There's a microphone under your bed, Tilden. We've got the whole works on a record. The boys will be on their way to pick up Artie in a few minutes. You're done, Tilden, and the little lady here is under arrest as a material witness. It's a good rule, Tilden, to think before you shoot. I'd say remember that for the next time. Only there isn't going to be any next time. Not for you, Horseface.
Crime does not pay.
Frank Albertson, who was starred as Lon Tilden in Horseface, will be back with you in just a moment. Now here in person is Frank Albertson.
To me, the science of police work is a never-failing source of wonder and excitement. In this case, with nothing to work on except the dying man's description of a gunman he had seen only briefly in very dim light, the inexorable chase was maintained until the killer was caught and trapped in the meshes of his own scheming. More need not be said except to emphasize once more that no matter what the luck may be or the cleverness of the planning, in the end it is always true that crime does not pay.
Thank you, Mr. Albertson. Crime Does Not Pay is written by Ira Marion and directed by Mark B. Lowe, with music composed and conducted by John Garth. Technical advisor is Burton B. Curtis. The events, characters, and names used in the story you've just heard are fictitious. Any similarity is purely coincidental. This is Bob Williams speaking.
This, I believe. Emory S. Bogardus has been a professor of sociology at the University of Southern California for 42 years. He is editor of the publication Sociology and Social Research. The author of several works on social psychology, he has traveled widely through 4 continents. Here now is Emory S. Bogardus.
Because of having been born and reared on a farm, I early learned to believe in the importance of keeping one's feet on the ground, for in so doing, I was able to strive toward ideals without losing balance and a sense of the fitness of things. I noticed the quiet confidence that my parents possessed because they could keep their feet on a patch of ground that they could call their own. I observed the deeper benefits of ownership, such as stability of character, personal responsibility, and a degree of security. As boys and girls, we wrote in one another's autograph albums. The pastor of our country church wrote in mine as follows: "Keep to the right and keep moving." I pondered over those 7 words a great deal, accepted them, and today they are a part of my basic beliefs: keep to the right and keep moving. Because of the opportunity given me as a boy to earn and save a little money, I became a believer in individual self-help. I learned to try every possible means of self-help before turning to others. Self-help gave me a confidence in self and, more important, an abhorrence of striving to get something for nothing. Because of the barn-raising bees in which I participated, I developed a belief in group self-help. The farmers came joyously from far and near, and by group action raised the structure of a lofty barn. Their wives and daughters came gladly and cooked for and fed 100 hungry mouths and more. The children came willingly and played together or watched wide-eyed when the leader shouted, "Ready, boys, heave." And by mutual action, the men hoisted mighty timbers into place in mid-air, and how the men could heave when they all heaved together. Because I once hauled loads of gravel from a gravel pit, a common way of paying taxes in those days, to public roads that needed to be improved, I acquired a belief in taking an interest in government affairs. There was no grumbling about doing this work, for all could see how a large part of the service was being returned in local community benefits. There was no tax dodging, for everyone could understand that to cheat the government was to cheat one's community, one's neighbors, and one's self. Because I worked regularly for several seasons as a member of a threshing crew composed in large part of immigrants from several countries, I learned to believe in human nature on a widespread scale. Some of these fellow workers could not speak English, except brokenly. Some could not read. Some wore heavily patched clothes, but all were honest, all were horses for work, all were trustworthy, and some even light-hearted, despite obvious obstacles. At rest periods they related boyhood experiences in this or that old-world country. On Sundays, a number of them, although they had different religious connections, came to the plain wooden church with a high steeple and worshipped the same God with prayers, each in his own language. They stimulated in me a belief in mankind, because as individuals they had come from what to me were the ends of the earth. They furthered my belief in a divinity that shapes our ends, rough-hew them how we will. No other beliefs which have been developed in subsequent years have marred or dimmed those which boyhood experiences made real and dynamic.
Those were the beliefs of Emery S. Bogardus, sociologist of the University of Southern California.
Calling all detectives. Most detectives are happy to have one client at a time. But I once had 2 clients on the same case, and both of them appeared guilty. That is the situation on this page from my casebook, the casebook of Jerry Browning, private detective. When a private detective like me, Jerry Browning, has 2 clients for the same case, he really has cause for alarm. I'd set my alarm clock for 8 a.m. It felt more like 1 a.m. when the clatter of bells woke me. I shut off the alarm. The bells still kept ringing. I reached for the phone. Hello, Jerry Browning. What? Okay, Mr. Bryant, but hold the phone a second. The doorbell's ringing.
Mr. Browning, I apologize for disturbing you at this hour. Henry Dwight is my name. I have a dreadful problem.
Come on in, Mr. Dwight. This is my night for problems. I've got somebody on the phone with one. Sit down for a second, please. Hello. You still there, Mr. Bryant? Now, what's your trouble? Philately. Oh, stamp collecting. Well, what was the value of the stolen stamps? You think they're about to be stolen? Whom do you suspect? I couldn't believe the answer that came over the phone. I shook my head, glanced at the little man I'd admitted and who was now sitting on the sofa. My visitor had said his name was Henry Dwight, and the man on the phone, whose name was Clayton Bryant, had just told me that Henry Dwight was the one who intended to steal his stamp collection. I said into the phone, "Hold the wire a second, Mr. Bryant." Then I turned to Dwight. "What's your trouble, Mr. Dwight?"
"I'm a philatelist, Mr. Browning, and Clayton Bryant has threatened to steal my stamp collection."
I was engaged by two rival hobbyists who feared that each was about to steal the other's valuable stamp collection. I told Bryant to see me at 9 o'clock in my office. Then I put down the phone and turned back to Henry Dwight. Now let's hear your side of the story. Well, it was a simple story of rivalry that started way back when Dwight and Bryant had been college classmates.
"And we kept up the feud after we both got into the brokerage business. And now that each of us is retired, why, we're still trying to beat one another at the same hobby. Even buy through the same dealer, Clifford Franklin. Fine chap. Manages to get some interesting covers. You know, envelopes bearing certain postmarks. It's the one field in which Bryant and I have no disputes. He specializes in doubles, place names like Pango Pango, Walla Walla. I seek covers bearing people's names like Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Bailey's Harbor, Wisconsin, Carson City, Nevada, and so on.
That's fine. But if you and Bryant don't fight over that stuff, what is your dispute?
It started over a rare stamp, a Japanese lilac, issued back when Japan was just getting started in world commerce. I gave Franklin, the dealer, a phone bid on it, but before I could get to the shop, Bryant walked in, outbid my phone offer, and got the Japanese lilac. Naturally, I was annoyed and threatened to get his entire collection, but...
You threatened him?
Oh, but he threatened me, too.
Look, be in my office tomorrow at 9, and we'll get this all straightened out. And now... good night. By the time they arrived at my office, both Bryant and Dwight were feeling pretty sheepish. I read them a long lecture about there being enough stamps in the world to satisfy everybody, and not enough decent behavior to satisfy anybody. You've both made some silly threats which neither of you meant. So why not bury the hatchet and forget all about it? They looked relieved, shook hands, and even paid me a nice fee for having acted as an arbitrator. Then they took me to see their respective collections, which were really something.
"You have one of the finest collections in the world, Dwight." "Nice of you to say so, Bryant, but I think your collection is even better."
And that's how they left me, telling each other what great guys they were. A nice case, a nice fee, no real work to do. At least that's what I thought until that evening, when... both Bryant and Dwight phoned from their respective homes. Each one's stamp collection had just been stolen. Each suspected the other and demanded that I earn the fee I'd just been paid. I got the two men together again, listened to them rave a while. Then, let's get this straight. Your stamp collections have been stolen, but your collections of special covers weren't touched. How come?
"Because they have no really great value. It takes patience rather than money to amass a collection of covers."
Bryant nodded.
"Yes, I got one as a gift in the mail this morning. A cover bearing the cancellation Leicester, Connecticut, sent me by my dealer, Franklin. He's away on a trip."
Dwight chimed in at that.
"He sent me one, too, from Mason, Massachusetts."
Okay, let's stick with the stamps. They both started talking at that, each convinced that the other was a thief. Listening to them, I was convinced that neither was involved in the thefts. Gentlemen, I think somebody who knows about your feuding has taken advantage of you. Suppose you give me a few days to work this out, and then if I can't recover your collections, you can take whatever police action you like. After they'd reluctantly agreed not to swear out any warrants for a while, I drove down to the shop of Clifford Franklin, the stamp dealer. Sure enough, there was a card on the door saying that he was out of town, would return in a few days. That seemed to establish his innocence, but I was still suspicious. Franklin knew about the two men's quarrels, and he'd shown himself unscrupulous by selling a stamp for a higher price after having accepted a lower bid. So, when I got back to my office, I made a couple of long-distance phone calls. Then, bright and early the next Monday morning, I was at Franklin's shop again. The dealer came forward to meet me. I'm a private detective, Mr. Franklin. You can save us all a lot of time and maybe get yourself off a little easier if you'll confess to stealing Bryant and White stamp collections.
Ridiculous! I've been out of town. I even sent these men special covers from towns in Connecticut and Massachusetts.
I smiled, shook my head. You didn't. You wrote to the postmasters at both those places asking that an enclosure be canceled and mailed back, just like people who sent mail and enclosures to Santa Claus, Indiana, and asked that it be mailed back from there. Postmasters don't mind doing that, but they don't like being used as alibis for theft. Now, do you confess? Or do we discuss the subject of what happens to people who use the U.S. mails to defraud? That's a wonderful phrase, the U.S. mails. And it has made more than one crook decide to confess in a hurry. Franklin was no exception. He'd carefully built up the feud between Bryant and White, then stolen their collections, secure in the knowledge that the two men would accuse each other and battle to a draw in court. Bryant and White recovered their collections, of course. And as for Franklin, he was practically overjoyed to get only 1 year on a larceny charge. Like I said, when two clients accuse each other, always look for the hand of a third party. It seldom bears the stamp of inspection. Listen next time to Calling All Detectives. Mystery drama, mystery quiz, and a chance for you to match wits with yours truly, Jerry Browning, Private Detective.
Item here, Mr. Bradley. Girl in mystery drowning, Pennaquit, Maine. While her sister stood helplessly on the dock, Abigail Thorne, 26, was drowned in the bay here at midnight last night.
What?
According to her sister Sarah, the older girl was about to board her ship.
The Black Swan.
What? Well, yes, that's the name. How did you know?
How did I know? Because it had to be. It had to be.
Midnight, the witching hour when the night is darkest, our fears the strongest, and our strength at its lowest ebb. Midnight, when the graves gape open and death strikes. How? You'll learn the answer in just a moment in The Black Swan. And now, Murder at Midnight, Tales of Mystery and Terror by radio's Masters of the Macabre. Our story by Leon Meadow is The Black Swan.
It's odd, isn't it? How familiar sounds revive old memories. Listen to the waves against the dock. Yeah, it's 6 years since I, Amos Bradley, last heard this sound. Last stood here in the moonlight looking out over Pennaquit Bay. And there she rides at anchor just as she did 6 years ago. A black ship against the sky. 45 feet of black-hulled beauty. Loveliest sloop ever turned out in the main shipyard. 45 feet of unholy black evil. The Black Swan, she was named, but a better name would have been Ship of Death. Yes, she was even launched in blood.
Henderson! Oh, Henderson! See my son anyplace?
Hello, Mr. Thorne. Left Fred on deck. Well, how do you like the Black Swan?
Like her. Fine talk about a ship built by Fred Thorne.
Well, Fred thinks she's the trimmest job he ever turned out.
Trim? A pleasure ship. Well, what are you waiting for? Will you tell Fred I'm here?
Well, yes, sir. I'll get him just as soon as we check the keel plate. Yeah, we're going to launch here in a few minutes. Stay around and watch you hit the water.
Stay around. Watch. Old, broken down Caleb Thorne. That's all he's good for, anyway. Stay around. Watch.
Hello, Father. How are you?
Stay around. Watch. Watch as good as buried. Built for a girl. Think your sister will like it?
Abby will be pleased, Father. It's a fine birthday present.
All right, Ken. He's just about ready. All set here, Fred.
Okay, Henderson, I'm coming down, too. Want to check the clearance. I'll see you in a minute, Dad.
Go on, go on.
All right, over here.
Captain Thorne will stand here and watch. A worthless, peg-legged old man. The sea is the Lord. The sea giveth a man his life and taketh his life. Stand aside, Caleb. What's taking him so long? Seems to... What?
Fred! One of the braces, Father, it slipped. Hey, Henderson!
Henderson, you fool! Get down here! The braces are giving away! Fred, on! Get out!
I'm trying to. I've got this wedged in. If I move the other brake, I'm afraid. Henderson!
Hurry, Fred! Just hold on!
Hurry, she's starting to fire!
Yes, launched in blood. Murderer of Fred Thorne. The Black Swan never left the yard. For months, she lay there on the waves like a stranded whale on a beach. There was talk in town about old Caleb turning strangely on the one thing he was supposed to love, his daughter Abby. But I dismissed it as idle village gossip. Actually, no one knew very much about that family. The Thornes kept to themselves on that little island of theirs. You can just make it out. Yeah, they're beyond the breakwater. And then one day, about 6 months after Fred was killed, I ran into Philip Hazlitt on Main Street.
Hi, Amos. Just the man I want. I'm looking for a first mate.
Yeah, since when?
Well, I had a note from Abby yesterday. She wants me to bring the Black Swan out to the island.
The Black Swan? I thought the old man...
Changed his mind, I guess. No, you never can tell with him.
But, Abby, I mean, after what happened...
Oh, come now. You certainly haven't started believing that old wife stuff.
No, of course not. But the old man swore he'd never look at the ship again.
Search me. Well, anyway, I'm to bring her out Saturday. You want to come?
Yeah. Think I do.
Here, Amos. You take over the wheel. She handles like a dream.
Well, Fred knew how to build them.
Now, watch it. She's trigger light to the touch. Well, maybe this is the turning point. Maybe now Abby will set the date, now that she's put these childish fears behind her.
You've been patient, Philip.
I'd wait forever for Abby Thorne.
How about the old man? You know how he feels about Abby, or how he was supposed to.
You'll just have to learn to like it. Cut her closer to the boy. That's it, Amos.
Right.
Now, a few points. Ah, there we are. There's the dock.
Abby was standing there on the little dock, waiting for us, waving to us as we anchored in the cove and jumped into the dory. A dark-haired, willowy girl. Lovely girl. And next to her was Sarah, Sister Sarah, 14. A smaller, incredibly faithful replica of Abby, except for her eyes. Her piercing, stony blue eyes, which were like Caleb's. Frighteningly like Caleb's. Abby had planned a picnic for us at Arrow Beach on the other side of the island. She and Philip had set out first to get away from Caleb, I suspect. And I was to bring Sarah along later. Well, just as we were about to leave the house, Caleb stopped me. He'd scarcely uttered a word since our arrival.
I want you to see something, Amos.
Oh, all right.
You come too, Sarah, to Fred's room.
All right, Father, only I know what it is.
Yes, Sarah knows. It's our secret. We keep it locked in Fred's room. We waited till Abby was gone. Abby's left us.
Left?
Oh, Father means she's with Philip.
Abby's gone. Abby's left us. See Amos on the floor there.
Why, it's a tool chest, complete set.
His tools, Fred's. All his tools. His planes and chisels and gouges.
And all the bits and braces and mallets.
All his tools.
Aren't they beautiful, Amos? The way they shine? We keep them shining and clean. Just the way Fred always kept them.
It's our secret. Abby doesn't know. Abby's left us. But Fred is back now. See all his tools.
And someday Father's going to take them and put them all in that big chest. And bury them out at sea.
That's what Sarah and me planned. Only now I have a better idea.
You didn't tell me, Father. You didn't. Where, Father? Where could there be a better place?
There's a better place, all right. Well, go on. Get to your picnic. There's a better place, all right.
I don't remember much about that picnic, except Abby's unusual quietness, Philip's efforts to keep the conversation alive, and Sarah's strange restlessness. She stared at me constantly, warning me silently with those intense blue eyes, warning me about that secret of Caleb's. Well, I was glad, I know that, when we finally said goodbye late that night, rowed out to the Black Swan, and cast off.
Amos, I don't get it.
Get what?
The ship, the way she's acting. She's not responding. She's sluggish.
Temperamental. Wait till we get out beyond the cove. She feels the wind. Looks stiff out there.
Hey, that's the jib. Came loose from the cleat. I'll go forward. You take the wheel, Amos. I don't like the way she's handling. She's nosing down in this heavy stuff.
Okay.
Hey, the wind's shifting. Bring her about.
I know. I'm trying. She won't take it.
Pull her over. All the way. Quick.
I got her over as far as she'll go. You better get the mainsail down. Push. Hey, watch it, the man. Get up. Yes, he was gone. Swept overboard by the backlash of a splintered mast. Lost in the darkness. Philip Hazlitt, second victim for the Black Swan. Somehow, I managed to get the Swan back. And shortly afterward, I left Pennicut to work in Boston for my uncle's engineering firm. I heard nothing from or about the Thorns for a year when I received a short, formal note from Abby. Her father had passed away peacefully in sleep. Well, I would have been less surprised had Caleb's death been more violent, had the Black Swan somehow been involved. And then, once more, Pennicut and the Thorns receded into the past. 3, 4, 5 years slipped by uneventfully before the Black Swan again revived my half-forgotten fears. I had just returned from a conference to find Miss Brewster, my assistant, standing at my desk, glancing at the evening newspaper. She looked up as I entered the office.
You're from Pennicut, Maine, aren't you, Mr. Bradley?
Yeah, what about Pennicut?
Oh, well, this little item here. Possibly you know the girl. Sounds positively spooky. Listen. Girl in mystery drowning, Pennicut, Maine. While her sister stood helplessly on the town dock, Abigail Thorne, 26, was drowned in the bay here at midnight last night. What? According to her sister Sarah, 20, the older girl was just about to board her ship.
The Black Swan.
What? Oh, yes. That is the name. The Black Swan. How did you know?
How did I know? It had to be. It had to be.
The dark of night. A ship with a past that is just as dark. What would you expect of a ship that was launched in blood, but... Murder! At midnight! And now back to Murder at Midnight and the Black Swan. Who has the ship of death singled out for its next victim? Listen as Amos tries to find the answer.
So you didn't think a ship could be a murderer? First, Fred Thorne, who built the Black Swan for his sister Abby. Then Philip Hazlitt, who loved that sister, Abby. And then Abby. Lovely, dark-haired Abby herself. And who's to be next? Well, that's why I'm here now. Why I've come back after all these years to Pennaquid Bay. I'm going to find out tonight. Yeah, I know. It's late and dark. Care to come? No? Can't say I blame you. What's that? May storm a bit later. Well, fine. That suits me just fine. I'm going out there, see? Sailor myself. And before this night is done, I am going to know the answer. In pretty good shape after all this time. Somebody must be taking care of it.
Somebody is, Amos. Very good care of it.
Abby!
That surprises you, Abby coming back here.
It can't be.
You need a flashlight to reassure you? Wouldn't Abby's ghost be more companionable in this pale, thin moonlight?
It's you, Sarah. Little Sarah. For a moment, I
thought I was Abigail. Yes, Amos, you were the one who always said I was the image of it. I am. A pale image. A reflection without substance. Come over here and sit down, Amos. After all, we have a lot to talk about. You want to know, don't you? You came back to find out about Abby.
The Black Swan?
Yes, Amos. But the paper didn't say how or why, did it? It didn't tell about the fights we had, Abby and I, after Father died. The bitter fights we had about the Black Swan. Until one day, a few months ago it was. Well, why not, Abby? Why not sell her? What's so precious about that horrible ship? I won't, that's all. I won't. Hasn't she caused enough grief? Let her rot to pieces in the harbor. I won't sell. You're afraid, aren't you? Afraid she might kill someone else. Yes. Yes, I'm afraid. Then make sure she never has another chance. Sure? How? Destroy her. In the harbor. Destroy her? Yes, Sarah. Yes, why not? Leave some gasoline at the house. We could burn her in the harbor. Tonight.
And that's what you were going to do that night?
Yes, Amos. We put 2 cans of gasoline in the dory and rowed out to the Black Swan.
But it said in the paper you were standing on the dock.
I was. We were about halfway out when suddenly a strange feeling of terror swept over me. Put back, Abby! Put back! Not now, Sarah. No, this is the way it must be. No, I tell you, no, I don't trust that ship. You won't ever have to. Again. I can't, Abby. I can't. Take me back. Help me, please, or I'll jump overboard and swim back. All right. I'll put you ashore. And then I'll come back. And I'll do it alone.
I see.
See what? Do you see me standing there watching the dory in that choppy swell? Do you see me standing there watching Abby get to her feet, a gasoline can in one hand? Do you see it happening swiftly, without warning, the Black Swan rolling violently, swamping the dory? Do you see Abby pitching forward, her head striking the black hole? Do you see her plunge backwards, her knees catching the gunwale, her body snapping like a broken oar? Her head beneath the water. When I got there, she was dead.
The Black Swan again.
Yes, the Black Swan. And we're the only 2 left who care.
And we'd come back to find out.
Amos, who loved my sister in silence. And Sarah.
And Sarah, who?
I might have told you once. She went away like the others.
I've come back, Sarah.
Yes. Because there's no rest for you either. No rest until we know. Look to the anchor, Amos. It's time we did know.
My friend at the dock was right. It's going to storm.
Yes, I think so. And we haven't learned anything. She's handling like any other ship.
Only better. It's Fred built her to handle.
She's biding her time, that's all.
What are you thinking?
Do you remember the picnic that day?
Yes, sir.
That night, after you and Philip had left, I went to Fred's room. They were gone. His tools, the chest.
Gone? You mean Caleb?
Yes. Father had taken them away while we were picnicking over at Arrow Beach.
Taken them where?
He wouldn't tell me. He said he found a better place. He kept saying that over and over, but he would never tell me where. Poor Father.
Yes, sir.
He changed so after Philip was killed.
How?
Well, it goes back to Fred, my brother Fred. Don't you see, Father commissioned Fred to build the Black Swan as a birthday present for Abby. It was one of the ways he thought he could, well, buy Abby away from Philip.
And Fred was the first victim of the Black Swan.
Yes. Then, Philip. And the more Father tried, the worse it became. Abby wouldn't talk to him, not a word.
In death, Philip took Abby further away from your father than he could possibly have done in life.
Philip's death? No, Amos. Philip's murderer did that. The Black Swan.
We'd better put about. Head back, Sarah. I don't like the way she's blowing up.
And I don't care, Amos. I feel so different now about everything.
Now that the Swan is behaving herself?
Yes.
Well, maybe so, but the weather isn't. Now that you've promised to come back to Boston with me and to leave all this behind you, I'm not taking any chance.
Anywhere you say, Amos, anywhere. Because now I'm free. See how she's riding the storm. It's as if she were free, too.
Any sign of that breakwater yet?
I should catch it in the next lightning. It's somewhere off port. I know it is. It can't be far now.
Keep your eye peeled.
I am. There, Amos. It is. It's...
What did you say?
Off port now. Hold her till I tell you, then cut in. I think we can make it on one run.
Okay, say when.
All set?
All set.
Now! Swing her in now, Amos.
I am. I'm trying. Give me it everything
No, Amos, quicker. We'll hit the rocks on the other side of the entrance.
She won't hold her.
Put her about then, quick.
She won't. She's not answering the helm. She's gone dead the way she did the night Philip. It's all right. It's all right.
Happy I made you.
You're safe. It's all over.
Oh, Amos. Amos, the ship.
Finished, dear. All finished. Can you sit up? Here, take my hand. Look, Sarah. I want to show you something. Over there. Can you see?
See? See what? You mean the shining?
Yes, sir. It's half submerged.
Why, there... No. No, they can't be.
They are. They're his tools. Fred's tool chest and everything.
Father. Father did it.
Yeah. When Caleb said he knew a better place, he meant in the ship.
Oh, Father. Father.
Yes, he took the chest and nailed it up under the deck, up at the bow. That's why the Black Swan acted so strangely the night Philip and I left the island.
But, Amos, tonight she was acting so beautifully, too.
I know. That's because somehow all these years she'd been rocking there in the harbor. The chest worked itself loose, just loose enough so it would shift with the ship's motion.
But then, I mean, what happened when we tried to bring her in tonight?
Well, my guess is that the chest suddenly got itself wedged in tight in one place, off-center. That's why she wouldn't answer the helm.
Fred's chest. Yes, yes, that's why she rolled so badly the night Abby and I...
Don't, Sarah. It's all over now.
Yes, it is over now, isn't it? It was almost over for us. And then no one would have known.
We know now, Sarah. Yes, the Black Swan has been brought to justice. And by her own hand.
A wild, strange family. And the ship was launched in blood. With such a setting, it's no wonder that what was meant as a tribute and an act of love turned into murder at midnight. Remember to be with us again when death comes in with the rising tide and the clocks strike 12 for murder at midnight. Our storyteller, Amos Bradley, was played by Lawson Zerby. With music by Charles Paul, Murder at Midnight was directed by Anton M. Leader.
This I believe. If we all lived the lessons we were taught in school, the world undoubtedly would be a better, happier place. Eric Warner Johnson is that rare person who does live them. A Harvard graduate, Johnson is now a teacher, the head of Friends Central School in Philadelphia. Listen to his views on life.
My beliefs are conditioned by my being a Quaker, although Quakers have no set creed. As a matter of fact, they require the individual to determine his beliefs for himself and to act upon them. I am suspicious of authority, except the authority of my own conscience. I respect the conscience of others, and I want them to respect mine. I have faith in the truth known through meditation, experience, and the exercise of logical thought. Each man must find truth for himself. I believe in the continuing revelation of truth to the individual, truth for his own time and his own circumstances. I believe in the power of goodwill, the power that comes if one dedicates one's life to discovering what the good for someone else may be and sacrificing oneself to achieving that good. This can be called Christian love. It can be called the Golden Rule. It requires sensitivity, persistence, courage, and a highly developed imagination actually to picture the situation of another man, whether he be in Philadelphia, Moscow, or Korea. I believe in sticking my neck out. That is, I have faith that if one speaks out forthrightly, but in a loving spirit, and says what one believes to be true regardless of the consequences, good will result. I have faith in non-violence. I believe that war is never necessary and will never solve the world's problems. Further, I believe that we should take literally the commandment, "Thou shalt not kill." To me, the life of Jesus, on which I attempt, inadequately I admit, to model my own, this life of Jesus was essentially an expression of the power of love, of nonviolence, of the futility of physical force used in a hateful spirit. I believe that if it becomes necessary to choose between losing one's own life and taking that of another, one should give up one's own. For, in Jesus' words, whoever would save his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake will save it. This goes for nations as well as individuals. I believe in the brotherhood of man, that all men have a common Father, that they have, as the Quakers say, that of God in them. This God, or good, or divine spark, can be developed and strengthened until it becomes the dominant force in a person's life, if we but surround him with favorable circumstances and treat him in a loving spirit. And the brotherhood of man means all men, not just those on our side. We should have a sense of personal involvement in the welfare of every individual in the world, no matter where he may live, no matter what his religion, color, or nationality may be. We should truly love our enemies as well as our friends. I believe that religion should express itself in practical acts, that we must do our part to create the kingdom of God on earth today. We cannot wait, secure in our own beliefs and our own comfort, for some miracle to transform the world. We cannot wait until we are perfect to go out and act. We shall achieve perfection through right action.
Those were the private convictions of Eric Warner Johnson, a 33-year-old Pennsylvania Quaker, humanitarian and educator, a man who teaches not only from books, but from the heart. He is equipped to do this because, as we've just heard, he has learned the lesson of humanity's interdependence.
New post-war Old Dutch cleanser, famous for chasing dirt, presents Nick Carter, famous for chasing crime. Every week at this time, two great names are joined, as new post-war Old Dutch cleanser brings you one of the most resourceful and daring characters in all detective fiction, Nick Carter, Master Detective.
Nick Carter, have you lost your mind?
No, Patsy. I said you're going to go crazy.
Me? Go crazy?
Yes. Then Matty and I are going to chase you.
But why are you going to chase me?
Because you've got the King's apology, and you're going to run with it until you run into a killer.
And now, the case of the King's apology. Today's adventure starring Lon Clark as Nick Carter, brought to you by new post-war Old Dutch cleanser. In his library, filled with rare books, letters, stamps, and coins, wealthy collector Robert Bixby sits behind a desk and stares coldly at a small, oily man named Thomas Gall. Gall, displaying an open leather portfolio filled with papers, talks excitedly.
I'm deeply obliged to you for asking me to call on you, Mr. Bixby. It's an honor to see your famous collection, I assure you.
Not at all, Mr. Gall.
At the same time, I have always regretted the fact that I am the one dealer in this city who has not yet had the good fortune to assist you in your collecting.
Indeed? Well,
That is why I took the liberty of bringing a few of my more precious items for your esteemed consideration. Several interesting autographed letters dating from the 18th century.
Mr. Gall.
Especially this note in the handwriting of King George III, King of England during the American Revolution. It is an apology to a friend for failure to keep an appointment. His Majesty's arms on the envelope are especially...
Mr. Gall.
Yes, Mr. Bixby?
I did not ask you here to display your stock.
No, Mr. Bixby?
I want you to answer a question.
A question?
Yesterday, while driving past your shop, I saw something that demands full explanation.
What did you see, sir?
I saw you in close conference with a well-known forger, John Pryor.
You saw me?
I did. With Pryor, the literary forger.
Oh, I think you're mistaken, Mr. Bixby.
Let me warn you, Gull. I'm chairman of the Collectors Association.
Oh, I know you can blast my reputation with one word, Mr. Bixby. I know you can put me out of business.
And I shall do so, unless you can explain your association with Pryor.
I am not associated with him, Mr. Bixby. You're mistaken. You must believe me, sir.
That's all you have to say?
That's all I can say.
Very well. I'm sorry, Gall. I shall take action at once.
Then you've made up your mind, sir?
In view of the fact that no explanation is forthcoming...
You're going to ruin me?
It's not a question of personal animosity. There are other collectors to be protected. My duty as chairman.
To ruin me?
I'm afraid you're ruining yourself. I happen to know you're lying, Gall.
I've got too much at stake to let you do that, Mr. Bixby. For 5 years I built up my reputation just waiting for this chance to make a killing. So I'm afraid the killing is going to start with you.
No, in the name of...
Don't misunderstand, Mr. Bixby. It's not a question of personal animosity. I've got to protect myself. Goodbye, Mr. Bixby. I hope you enjoy your new career, collecting fire and brimstone.
Nick Carter's office, Patsy Bowen speaking.
Oh.
Hello? Hello?
What's the matter, Patsy? Got me proposing in a new and different way?
Well, I don't know who it is, Nick. Hello? Hello? Sounds like someone groaning on the phone.
Hmm? Here, let me have it.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Nick Carter speaking.
Nick Carter.
Yes, this is Nick Carter speaking. Who is this?
Nick Carter.
Is something wrong? Can't you speak openly? Or are you sick?
Come quick.
Who is this? Hello? Hello?
What is it?
Someone asked me to come quick. No name, no address. Hello? Hello? And no answer.
Hang up. He'll call again.
No. I'll hold on to this line and keep it open. You get on the other phone and call the phone company. Have this open wire traced.
Right.
And when you get the address, call Matty. This is an invitation to trouble. We might as well be legal about accepting it.
Well, all I've got to say is, Nick, if you interrupted my sandwich to bring me here on a false alarm...
What'll you do, Sergeant?
I don't know. For years, Nick's been breaking into my meals. I still haven't figured out what to do about it.
This is no false alarm, Matty.
Nobody's answering the door, Nick.
You sure it's the right house?
Sure it is. Robert Bixby, 1035 Russell Place.
Uh-huh. I'd still like to know what this is all about.
So would I. All right if I use a skeleton key?
Look, are you sure he groaned on the phone?
On my word of honor, Sergeant.
All right. Let's go in and have a look.
Good.
Well, you got that door open quick enough. You know, Nick, sometimes I'm glad you're on the right side of the law.
Except when Nick interrupts your meal.
Ah, yeah. And if this is a false alarm...
It isn't, Patty.
But...
I know it now.
Huh?
What?
Look. On the left in the library.
What?
Oh.
Holy smoke.
This is Robert Bixby, all right. And he's dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we're smack in the middle of a murder case.
He was strangled. Look at the finger marks on his throat.
Golly.
See the way his head tilts, Matty?
Yeah. His neck's broken.
He died instantly.
What? But he telephoned us, Nick.
No, he didn't, Patsy. Not with a broken neck.
What?
Someone else called us. Someone who was here during or immediately after the murder.
Oh.
Give me the aluminum powder kit for my kid, will you? I want to dust the phone for fingerprints.
Right, Nick.
Hey, Matty, you better look around. See if anything looks displaced or missing.
Yeah, okay. Will do.
Here's the powder, Nick.
Thanks.
Not a sign of a print, Nick.
No. Whoever telephoned me and groaned made sure to wipe all prints off the phone.
Well, the place doesn't look as though it's been searched, Nick. Nothing's been touched.
That's funny. Several $1,000s worth of rare books and literary material in this room, and nothing was taken?
Huh? Then it wasn't murder for robbery.
No. Confound it. Why was old Bixby killed? And who called me? And why?
Hey, wait a minute, Nick. Here's something under Bixby's feet. It looks like a letter or something.
Let's have a look at it.
Where do I get it out of the envelope?
Oh, it looks pretty old.
Yeah, it's probably part of Bixby's collection. Uh-huh. It's dated 1780.
1780? Oh, let me see.
Seems to be some kind of an apology.
Nick, it's signed George R.
R. That means Rex, Latin for king.
Then this was signed by King George?
Yeah, King George III, judging by the date.
And that must be the Royal Coat of Arms on the envelope.
Do you really mean that letter's from a king?
It's a royal apology, Sergeant. Isn't that exciting?
Not only exciting, Patsy, but it also gives us an angle on this case.
Huh?
What's that?
The letter's a forgery.
It is? Well, how do you know?
Never mind that right now, Patsy. Just take my word for it.
Okay, Nick.
But a man like Bixby would never have a forgery like this in his collection. Evidently, his death was in some way connected with this king's apology. And I have an idea.
What's that, Nick?
Suppose you go ahead with the departmental routine, Matty.
Sure, Nick.
Patsy and I are going to check our files for a forger who can do this kind of work. And if we find the man who forged this letter, we may find the man who murdered Bixby.
Tom.
What, Rita?
Stop that pacing. You're giving me a headache.
I can't help it. That Bixby, I could strangle him all over again. The pompous ass. Sitting there as though he were my judge.
But he's dead, isn't he?
Yes, and I could kill him again. And I could kill him each day forever. To ruin the work of 5 years. Yes, that's what he wanted. One word from Bixby and we would have been finished.
But we're not.
For 5 years I've been honest. For 5 years I built up a reputation for this moment. They trust me now, those fools who buy letters and autographs. They believe in me. And in 6 months we'll unload every forgery. We'll make a fortune.
That's what I've been waiting for.
You've been a good wife, Rita. You played along with me during those years when we had to be honest.
And don't think it didn't hurt.
But now comes the payoff. We'll make 200,000, maybe 3. And we can't be stopped now that Bixby is dead. We can rise to him. I'll take it. Yes?
Go?
Yes?
This is Pryor.
Yes?
I want you to come over to my place for a talk.
Why?
I got bad news for you, girl.
Talk straight, Pryor.
When, Bixby got you up to his place.
How did you find out about that?
I was there, girl.
You were what?
Bixby had me hidden in the next room. He was going to confront us, girl. He had it all set up.
Then you...
That's right, I know all about it. I think you better come over to my place for a talk right away.
But
It's going to cost you money if you want me to forge you an alibi for murder.
Now, let's see, Nick. We've been to see Joe Dyer, Eddie Barker, Sam Browning, and Billy Webster.
Yeah. And not a reaction out of any of them.
Leaving John Pryor, Henry Foster, and Steve Skrenner as the possible forgers of the King's apology.
Well, let's hope we have some luck with at least one of them.
Yeah. Who are we visiting now?
The next man on the list. John Pryor.
Uh-huh. Well, what's your attack going to be with him?
Same as the others. Surprise. Sudden shock.
Uh-huh.
He's got a ground floor apartment in the rear. Now, that must be the door down there, down the hall.
Right. Oh, the way you knock gives me the shakes, Nick. So stern and official.
It is precisely why I do it. Gives us a psychological edge.
Yes?
You, John Pryor?
Yes?
I'm Nick Carter, working on a murder case. I want to talk to you. I brought my secretary along to take notes.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Carter.
Quit stalling, Pryor. You're in a bad jam, and you know it.
I don't know anything of the kind.
Take a look at this letter.
What?
Don't dummy up, Pryor. This is a forged manuscript. The King's apology dated 1780, and it's your work.
Now, Mr. Carter.
Ties you into the murder of Robert Bixby so tight you won't get out of it with a crowbar.
You're nuts. That isn't my work.
No? Any objections if I take your fingerprints? Fingerprints? You heard me. Prints were left on this letter, on the inside flap of the envelope. I want to compare them with yours.
Sure, I've got no objections, Mr. Carter. Just let me go into the kitchen and get the grease off my hands, huh?
Okay. I'll get the equipment ready while you're gone.
Now, I'll give you all the prints you want as soon as I get my hands clean. Go.
I heard
You've been haggling long enough. Now make up your mind fast. Do I cover for you?
But he said he had your fingerprints.
He's laughing. I didn't leave any prints in that letter. And you think I'm a baby?
But
100 grand. That's my price. Make up your mind.
No.
What?
I said no, Pryor. I can't trust you, not with Nick Carter so close to my tail. I'm sorry, Pryor, but no hard feelings.
We're waiting, Pryor. Make it snappy. Come on out, Pryor. You got any idea of disguising those prints?
Nick! He's been stabbed. He's dead.
Nick and Patsy stare at the body of John Pryor, stretched out on the kitchen floor, a kitchen knife through his ribs. We'll see what they do in just a moment. Now, back to The Case of the King's Apology. Today's adventure with Nick Carter, brought to you by new post-war Old Dutch Cleanser. Nick and Patsy stand over the dead body of John Pryor, sprawled on the kitchen floor of his apartment. Quickly, Nick's eyes take in the few clues before them.
Come on, Patsy. We got to work fast.
All right, Nick.
We're going out through that kitchen window, too.
Uh-huh.
It's only a short drop to the back alley. I'll go first.
Yeah.
All right. Come on. I'll catch you.
All right. Oh.
Now, down the alley.
Nick, do you know...
Whoever killed Pryor isn't more than 20 seconds ahead of us. We may have a chance of catching up with him.
But who is it?
I don't know.
Must have been hiding in the kitchen while we were there.
Yeah. Pryor probably went back to cook up an alibi and was killed to keep his mouth shut.
Oh, Nick, this is a dead end.
Well, I'll see it.
That means we've got to go back to the other way.
No, that's a dead end, too. I noticed it when I came through the window.
Yeah, but...
Wait.
Huh?
Here's a cellar door. And look at the handle.
What? It's got blood on it.
Yeah. He must have gone in here.
It's awfully dark in here, Nick.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I think I hear someone.
Probably the killer. Let's go now. Quick.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Seems to be a storage room here. Came from inside that.
He must be hiding in there. We'll have to go in after him.
Yeah. Now stay with me. Be careful. It's almost pitch dark.
Nick, can't you use your flashlight?
No. He's got a gun. He can use the light for a target. Come on.
Oh,
the devil.
Someone closed the door behind us.
Killer. He was waiting in back of us.
Oh, God.
Found it. This door is fastened on the outside with an iron bar.
What? Then we're locked in?
Yes. Instead of trapping the killer, he's trapped us. And?
Why are you sniffing?
Got bad news for you. He's opened a gas pipe somewhere in this room.
Oh, Nick.
If we don't work fast, we're a couple of dead ducks.
Tom?
Yes, Rita.
Did you get everything arranged with Pryor?
Yes, Rita. With Pryor and with Nick Carter.
Nick Carter?
I took care of that gentleman after I took care of Pryor.
What are you talking about?
I trapped Nick Carter. And just about now, he should be dead. Unless he can hold his breath for half an hour.
Did Pryor help you?
I told you I took care of Pryor, too.
What do you mean?
I closed his mouth for good.
Tom.
He's dead, Rita.
You killed him?
Yes.
No. He isn't dead. He can't be dead.
Rita. I see. You're in love with him, aren't you? Aren't you? What an idiot I've been. You had this all worked out with Pryor, didn't you?
Tom,
You'd take every nickel I made in this deal to go off with Pryor, eh? That was the idea. You'd help him blackmail me for the rest of my life. And you'd be laughing at me, the two of you.
Tom, don't.
No, Rita, don't worry. I won't kill you. Maybe it's just as well this happened. Now I've got what I want. I got plenty of money waiting for me. And I got you forever.
Come in. Hey, Nick, we haven't gotten anywhere in this apartment with this, but for the love of heaven, what happened to you two?
Hello, Sergeant.
Hi, Matty. Come help Patsy and me smear ointment on our faces. I repeat, what happened to you? We met the killer. Did you get him?
No, he nearly got us.
He did. Look, I'd better sit down. Yes, do. You see, Matty, we were trapped in a cellar storage room.
With an open gas pipe.
With an open gas pipe? Yeah, an open gas pipe. The killer wrenched the fixture off and left the gas pouring into the room. But what did you do?
Well, Nick found the pipe and lighted the gas. That's how our faces got burned.
Yes, that stuff flamed out like a volcano. Luckily, there wasn't enough gas in the room to cause a real explosion. Well, I'll be darned.
Then we pounded on the door and yelled until the janitor came and let us out. Of course, by that time, the killer was gone. Forever, I guess.
Oh, no. We're not licked yet, Patsy.
Oh, that a boy, Nick.
Okay, but have you got any idea? I have. We're going to catch this killer with a king's apology. You mean the forgery? Yeah.
Well, what do we do?
While I've been nursing my blisters, I've been doing some thinking, Patsy.
Uh-huh.
Pryor wasn't working on this forgery alone.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, I don't. Now, look, have a heart. I'm not caught up on this case yet. Who's Pryor? I'll brief you later, Matty. Let me work this out with Patsy first. We haven't much time. Okay, go ahead. Now, Pryor was a forger, but he couldn't sell his forgeries himself.
Uh-huh.
He needed a front man, a dealer, to do that. So there's a strong chance he was killed by the dealer who was working with him.
Could be. Go on.
That's where our trick starts.
Yeah, but what's the trick?
Well, first you go crazy.
Go crazy?
Yes. Then Matty and I chase you.
What? But why do you chase me?
Because you've got the king's apology.
But
And you're going to run with it until you run into the killer.
Patsy takes the forged letter and listens carefully to her instructions, her face brightening as Nick unfolds the mechanism of the trap. We'll learn what it is in just a moment. Now for the conclusion of The Case of the King's Apology, today's adventure with Nick Carter, brought to you by new post-war Old Dutch Cleanser. For an hour, Valentine Street, where most of the city's autograph dealers have their shops, has been watching a curious spectacle. A girl has walked into one shop after another, displayed a letter, screamed at the astonished proprietor, and then run out. She is followed cautiously by two men who make profound apologies for her. Finally, she enters the shop of Thomas Gall.
Yes, madam. May I be of service to you?
Do you sell autographs?
Yes, madam. I have a very fine stock for your consideration.
Uh-huh. Do, you buy them too?
Well, madam, if it is of a... What's that, may I ask?
It's a rare old letter, a king's apology. King George III of England.
Where did you get that letter, madam?
Oh, I found it.
Where did you get the letter?
Well, maybe it isn't legal, but I found it and finders keepers. I was outside a house on Russell Place this morning.
Russell Place?
Uh-huh, number 1035 Russell Place. A man came running out and he dropped this letter. Oh!
What is it?
What? You're the man. I know you're the man. You're the man who came running out.
Lisa, come quick.
You're the man who ran out of the house that Bixby was murdered. You dropped this letter. I know it. I want a policeman. You want to be arrested.
Help me, Lisa.
Get your hands off me. You're a killer.
I thought we were... Well, we're not. Not until we get rid of this maniac. Like a wildcat. Help me get her into the back of the store.
Come, we'll get close.
You want to burn for murder? You're an accessory.
No, I'm not.
You're in this with me. This girl has got to be shut up for good. Come on.
I'm afraid it's too late, Gall.
What? Tom.
You left the transom over your door open. We heard everything. This is Sergeant Matheson of the Homicide Squad. You heard the confession, Marty?
Every blessed word, Nick.
You mind releasing the young lady? She's my assistant, Miss Patsy Bowen.
Your assistant?
That's right. She pulled this act on every dealer in the street.
Oh, what they must all think I'm crazy.
Oh, no, Patsy. We explained as we followed you. Mr. Gould's confession will do the rest.
But you were locked in the cellar. You couldn't be here.
No, Gull, I'm not an optical illusion. I'm just the man with the bad news. Sergeant Matheson wants you for murder.
Murder?
Yes, murder. Yeah. I'm afraid you're invited to keep a date with the state's executioner, with no apologies accepted.
Nick, there are a couple of things about this case I haven't figured out yet.
Go ahead, Betsy.
Well, first, who killed Bixby?
Gull did.
Okay. Then who called you from Bixby's house?
Pryor.
What? Why did he do that?
Gull said in his confession that Pryor was in love with Rita and wanted her for himself.
Uh-huh.
She was apparently willing to help him double-cross Gull and then turn Gull over to the police for murder.
Oh, so when Pryor phoned you, he was setting up the case.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted the police to close in on Gull quickly. That would increase the pressure and make the blackmail easy. Then, after he had all Gull's money, he could turn him in and go off with Rita.
Well, I see. Now, one last thing.
What?
Since when have you been an autograph expert?
Oh, I'm not.
What? Then how did you know the King's apology was a forgery the minute you looked at it?
Oh, that. Simple.
You were playing a hunch.
No, I knew.
Huh?
It happens to be one of the odd bits of information I picked up here and there.
Well, how did you know?
Well, the letter was dated 1780, and the envelope bore the Royal Arms of England.
Uh-huh.
The address on the envelope was in the same writing as the letter.
Hmm.
Besides, the envelope matched the paper and looked just as old.
Yeah, but that makes it sound genuine.
Maybe so, but it proves it was a forgery. You see, Patsy, while the letter was dated 1780, envelopes were unknown before about 1830.
Oh.
Pryor made a mistake.
Well, how about that? And all the while I thought you were guessing. Nick, I bow to the masters.
Quite all right, Patsy. Your apologies accepted.
Nick Carter, Master Detective, is presented each week at this time by the Cudahy Packing Company. It is produced and directed by Jock McGregor and is copyrighted by Street & Smith Publications, Incorporated. Charlotte Manson is featured as Patsy. Ed Latimer plays Matty. Today's script was written by Alfred Bester. Original music is played by Henry Silverne. This program is fictional, and any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental. This is Michael Fitzmaurice saying, when minutes count, use new post-war Old Dutch cleanser. This is the Mutual Broadcasting.
This, I believe. Those who teach must first learn. Dean Ernest O. Melby of New York University's School of Education has learned well. A native of Minnesota, he has come to have an almost passionate faith in the so-called ordinary person because, as he says now, he has discovered each one to be anything but ordinary.
I believe each individual human being is unique, precious, and sacred. He is the only entity of his exact kind and quality in the universe. He can think, feel, act, and create, as no other human being can think, feel, act, and create. This uniqueness of the individual is the primary reason for a free world. For if we are to make the most of the creative potentialities of all the individual human beings in the world, each must be free to become what he is capable of becoming. Such a process of becoming is possible only in a free society. But freedom is not merely a negative, merely the absence of external controls. It is positive. Only an individual who loves and is loved can really be free. Only one who received fully and freely from his fellow men can benefit from his uniqueness and make the most of his freedom. Similarly, only as he is free to give, in fact, only as he does give in love and understanding to his fellow men, can his own spirit grow and flower. One is not free when one is cut off from other human beings. One grows in freedom as one increasingly belongs to others, as one develops a sense of belonging. This sense of belonging reaches our immediate circle of family, friends, and associates, to all mankind, as one increasingly sees oneself as identified with humanity as a whole. Finally, all humanity, all nature, reaches a universality in God. I believe in the power of faith. Great achievements are possible only for those who believe they can be accomplished. In the same way, the faith of our associates inspires each of us to do our best, in many cases to do more than we ourselves think possible. The great teacher is thus one who has faith in his pupils, affection for them, understanding of them, and wisdom enough to permit each pupil to be himself. What is true of the teacher is true of leadership in every area of human relationship. I believe in the brotherhood of man under the fatherhood of God. This brotherhood reaches its finest expression in a vital community in which all can share and contribute without limitation because of race, color, creed, or social status. As an educator, I must necessarily project my private beliefs to embrace the broader patterns of community life. As an individual, I reject communism and fascism and all extremes, including excessive centralization of power, whether in government, business, labor, or education. I believe that free individuals are more important than any system. Therefore, to me, the purpose of all political, social, and educational administration must be to give citizens freedom for creative living and effective group action. Since I believe we can build a society in America and in the world which is based on freedom, faith, love, understanding, and human brotherhood, I have confidence in the ultimate triumph of the human spirit.
That was Professor Ernest O. Melby of New York University, revealing a mature philosophy which strikes me as particularly human in this materialistic world.
Wheaties presents Night Beat. On stage tonight, transcribed from Hollywood, Night Beat, another in the Wheaties' big parade of exciting half-hour presentations. Night Beat.
Hi, this is Randy Stone. I cover the Night Beat from Chicago Star. My stories start in many different ways. This one began with a kid and a $100 bill and ended in the death cell of Joliet.
Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone. See how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11.
Well, sure. Your Monday morning Wheaties might have made today's wash look a lot smaller. Wheaties tomorrow could maybe make your iron seem lighter. Wednesday, Thursday, any day. Wheaties sort of make insurance policies easier to sell and fields easier to plow and typewriters easier to punch. Because when you've had your Wheaties, you've had the husky whole wheat vitamins and minerals that help keep you able to trim down big chores right down to size. Yep, making beds or making money, it just seems a whole lot easier when you've had your Wheaties. Sure, Mother. Beat 'em up good every morning on those crisp, light whole wheat flakes. It's a wonderful sight, a family full of Wheaties. What is it the man says?
See how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11.
That's it. Try it, huh? Wheaties. Tomorrow.
It was a great night. Chilly as I walked hunched against the rain, stopping long enough to catch the sweetness and light in the headlines. H-bomb menace, traffic toll mounts, murderess to die this morning in the electric chair. Okay, people, keep it up. You're doing fine. But I had my own worries, wondering where my ever-loving story had come from tonight. It hit me before I expected it. A little kid, 6 maybe, came running at me and into me before I could step aside. Well, you better get those brakes relined, fella.
Let me go.
Okay. Where to?
I'm on the way.
All right. Now you get your breath for the second lap.
They're coming after me.
Oh, who?
I want to go to my mom.
I thought you were running away. Wait a second. What's this?
My money.
$100 bill?
It's mine.
Just a little loose change, huh?
Please give it back to me. I gotta get a bus.
Where do you live?
I want to go to 616 Wolverton.
Wolverton's quite a piece from here.
They're coming after me.
Who?
In that auto, see?
Looks like they're surrounded, kiddo. Take it easy for a second.
It's him.
You've been a bad boy, Marty, running away like this.
You ain't gonna take me back.
You're a kid, mister?
No.
What's the angle here?
The kid ran away from his old man.
I didn't. My father's dead.
Sure. He always says that. Now, come on, Marty.
No.
It seems he doesn't want to go with you.
He will.
Or maybe not. I'd like to know
Shut up. Eddie, back.
Big boys.
Yeah. Mister, you just forget all about this. Marty, get in the car.
Get away from that kid.
Eddie, Mac.
Don't hit him. Don't.
That's a sample. Open your trap again and you get the rest. Come on, let's go.
Before my eyes closed all the way, I saw them hustle the kid into the car. It began to move away, glided under a street lamp, and from the rear window a face looked out. Jerry McCallum. The brains behind almost any illegitimate enterprise you could name. Nothing too small or too big for Jerry if it made a nickel. From what I saw of McCallum's face, he could have gone in right then for murder. Mine. A half hour later, after some minor repairs on my face, I dropped in to see Sergeant Kalski. I asked some questions, and I got some answers. McCallum had never gone in for kidnapping, and no cop would stick his neck out without positive proof. If I wanted to go slumming, I was going alone. It wasn't far to McCallum's place, but knowing where he lived and getting to see him were two different things. However, I had a hunch that Jerry McCallum had seen me. I made sure of it by sending him a note with one word on it, Marty. McCallum had me shown in. He smiled at me from behind a marble-top desk, flanked by 2 of his boys, one of them my playmate of a little earlier.
Always glad to see a newspaper boy, Stone. You fellas print rough stuff once in a while, but it makes good for circulation, huh? True or not?
Yeah, sure. You know, we make up those things printed about you. Forgive us.
So, what do you want tonight, Stone?
For a starter, 10 minutes alone with Loverboy there, the one on your right.
Willie Bigger? Why?
Yes.
No, Willie hasn't been...
I know. Hasn't been out of your sight for a week. In fact, about 40 minutes ago, he was baking a cake. Okay, forget it.
Good idea.
Where's the kid?
Marty?
Yeah.
Do you like children?
Yeah, until they grow up. They're nice people.
The kid's none of your business, Stone.
Yet I'm curious. Along comes a kid with $100.
That all? Well, he took it. I keep lots of dough around here and drawers everywhere. The kid grabbed some and beat it.
Why? Because he wanted to go home?
Did he say where?
No. No, he didn't.
Okay, then. This is his home. What would you say if I told you he was my kid?
Nothing. I'd be speechless.
Stone, forget this whole thing. You've got nothing. Nothing. Whatever you're thinking is your idea, and that's as far as we go.
That's as far as you go.
Both of us. Now beat it. Don't crowd your luck.
Okay. There's nothing I can prove, but it makes a good story. It's good reading.
You got no finish to it.
You know, Frank Stockton wrote a story once, The Lady and the Tiger. There's no finish to that one either, but it caused more comment that way.
You're not scaring me, Stone. People can ask all the questions they want after tomorrow.
After tomorrow? Mr. McCallum, why after tomorrow?
I'm sick of looking at you. I'm even sicker of listening to you. Now, get out.
Oh, by the way...
Get out.
Yeah, one thing more, though. A friend of mine, a cop named Kalski, knows that I came here. I'm telling you in case my back looks inviting when I walk out. So long. On the way down to the street, that tight feeling grabbed my throat, made my nose itch and my eyes water. I kept my shoulders hunched against a bullet or a knife, but nothing came. Why not? I asked that 1,000 times before I hit the street. I knew I didn't scare McCallum when I told him about Kalski. McCallum had a million ways to rub out anybody who got in his way and a million alibis to keep himself clear. He'd done it before. But me, he let go. Why? He said after tomorrow. He didn't want anything to happen until after tomorrow. I kept thinking and kept walking. And then something began to go around on the back of my head. McCallum tomorrow. McCallum tomorrow, and suddenly it hit.
All about the electrocution. PR. Paper, mister?
Yeah, I'll start.
Okay. Yeah. Nice morning for somebody to sit in a hot seat, huh? Classy-looking dame, too. Now, why fry something like that? There's $1 million that you'd better burn.
McCallum's girlfriend. McCallum's.
Yeah, where you been, mister? Everybody knows that.
Yeah, but you forget things when they're not close to you.
Yeah. Classy-looking dame. Never think a doll like that would bump a husband, huh? Gonna fry it. Hey, mister, you sick or something?
Or something, yeah. Bud, you ever get a great big hunch?
Once. I lost.
I might, too, but it's worth a try. I grabbed a cab. I thought maybe some of McCallum's boys were tailing me, so I had the driver cut back and forth. Then, when I was sure we were clean, I had him drive to McCallum's apartment house and park down the street a few doors.
This okay, mister?
Yeah. Turn off your motor.
Okay, but I gotta leave the meter ticking.
That's okay. Now, listen, turn off your lights.
What?
Look, I'm Randy Stone, Chicago Star. Here's my press card.
Okay. Hey, what's up?
You take this newspaper?
Okay. What do I do with it?
Pretend you're reading it.
All right. You want a story?
Yeah. Now, look, don't pay any attention to anything. You're just parked. You're waiting for a fare. You're reading that paper. Understand?
I get it. Hey, well, what about you?
I'll sit back. Think anybody can see me from the outside?
Nah. Not if you sit in the corner. Nah.
Okay. Now, just sit and read the paper.
Okay. I guess this dame's gonna cook, eh?
Yeah.
You'd think a big shot like McCallum would be able to get his doll off a rap. But he didn't.
I wonder.
You wonder? Mister, at midnight she gets it. They pull a switch, then bzz, no more Lorraine Adams. Ain't much to wonder about. Once they pull us in...
Hold it. Pretend to read the paper. Can you see?
Yeah. Some guys are coming out. You see?
Yeah.
Oh, they're looking this way.
Don't look up.
One of them's coming this way.
Okay, start your motor. Start pulling out.
Yeah. We gotta go right past them. You better squeeze hard against that back seat.
I'm all right. Don't go too fast. Just as though you're cruising for a fare.
Okay. It's okay. They ain't looking at us. Hey, Mr. Stone, did you see that thing that was...
Yeah, get past. Then step on it around the corner.
Mister, I ain't sure what I seen, but there was a dame just coming out of the lobby. I only got a quick look at her face.
Yeah, so did I. What did you see?
If that dame was in this doll in the paper, I'll buy a horse.
Yeah, so we're even. We're both crazy. I saw her, too. Lorraine Adams. How do you convince a night editor you haven't suddenly walked out from under your head? How do you do it even when you've got proof of something that sounds and looks crazy? I listened to my editor, Matt Commel.
You're nuts, both of you. Stay in out of the night air.
Yeah, but both of us saw. The driver...
I got eyes.
Yeah? You want to take any bets, either of you?
Wait till that call comes through, Matt.
When that call from Joliet comes through, 5 will get you tax 310 that Lorraine Adams is sitting in the death cell right now.
She's not.
All you've got is a yarn about a kid wandering around holding $100 in his hot little hand. There's no record of any kidnapping,
Look. Lorraine Adams killed her husband because she was McCallum's girlfriend. You remember the trial? She pleaded not guilty, self-defense.
Yeah, but it didn't stick. Public sentiment was against her.
Yes, and no appeal. Nothing. Jerry McCallum didn't raise a finger to get her off. Why not? Why not, Matt?
Couldn't, that's all.
With his battery of high-priced lawyers and with his connections?
Okay. What's your bet?
That Lorraine Adams is free right now. I don't know how, I don't know what the kid Marty has to do with it, but...
Now, there's the call, Randy. Hold your hat. Matt Connell here. Okay, put it through. Randy.
What?
Putting up a fine?
Oh, on the line.
Okay. Now, hello. Yeah. Look, Stromberg, you're covering the Lorraine Adams electrocution, aren't you? Uh-huh. Well, listen, this is going to sound nuts, but is Lorraine Adams still in the death cell? Oh, you don't say. Okay, CR, thanks. No, that's all. So long.
All right, Matt. Give.
You know what I'm going to do with this 5-spot? Buy you a jacket with sleeves that tie in the back.
What did Stromberg say?
The Lorraine Adams execution is scheduled tonight as planned. The chaplain is with Lorraine Adams right now because at midnight, in exactly 2 hours and 10 minutes, she burns.
General Mills is bringing you Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone. See how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11.
Say, my friend.
Yes, Frank?
Isn't there some way you could put a little more oomph into that line?
You mean like this, maybe? See how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11.
Well,
Or see how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11.
There, that's it. See how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11. Because they really can. They're whole wheat, you see. I guess everybody knows about the snap and energy you get from whole wheat. Why, you start breakfast with a big bowl of Wheaties and the whole morning just seems to slide along easier. Big chores don't look so big. Long hours don't seem so long. People seem pleasanter when you've had your Wheaties. And you know why? It's just that Wheaties have lots of vitamins and minerals, lots of solid nourishment. The kind you need to look a tough task right in the eye. Wheaties taste good, too. Crisp and nice to munch on, a nice, sunny, nut-sweet taste to them. A good, satisfying flavor that keeps on tasting like more, no matter how often you eat them. You see, when you eat good, you feel good. It's simple as that. Now, my friend, would you just try that line again?
See how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11.
That way, because they really can, you know. Try it. Wheaties.
And now back to Night Beat and Randy Stone.
In 2 hours and 10 minutes, Lorraine Adams would go to the electric chair. But I saw, and the cab driver saw, right in the middle of Chicago, free as a bird. I checked some more after I left the office. The police went along with the gag and checked the prison. Yes, the girl in the death cell was Lorraine Adams. Her fingerprints proved it. But then who was the girl the cab driver and I saw? Was McCallum going to work a switch at the last minute? Fantastic. Sure, but McCallum might be able to work it. And how did little Marty tie in? What did a 6-year-old kid have to do with it? Well, I had until midnight to learn a lot of things. There was only one place to start, 616 Wolverton, the address Marty had given me. It was a cheap boarding house. I had the driver wait. I knocked on the manager's door. It took 3 minutes to get her out of bed, and she wasn't happy.
What do you want, huh? What's the idea, huh?
Randy Stone, Chicago Star.
I take a newspaper. You selling papers this time in the morning?
Oh, no, listen to me, will you?
Magazines all day, newspapers in the middle of the night.
Here, take this and listen.
$10. For what?
Does a little kid live here? His name was Marty, about 6, brown hair, cute little guy.
Are you kidding? That was 4 or 5 months ago.
But he lived here?
With his mother.
His mother? What did she look like?
Ask my husband.
Where did she go?
Only one thing I can tell. She worked at a joint called,
Oh, come on now, come on.
The Blue Heron. Yeah, that's it. Blue Heron.
Your hat, sir? May I check it for you?
No, thanks, honey. That clock behind you, is it right?
Sure. It's only 10 to 11. The night is young.
You want to bet? How long you been here?
A year, maybe. Why?
Well, I won't check my hat, but I'll leave this with you.
For $5, you could leave a diving suit. Who do I kill?
A girl used to work here. She had a little boy named Marty.
I don't remember.
Oh, yes, you do, baby. Your face shows it.
So I need makeup.
You've seen the kid, haven't you? You knew his mother?
Look, mister, I don't know anything that goes on. I check hats and coats. That's why Mr. McCallum pays me.
McCallum? Oh, the Blue Heron is one of his spots.
Oh, go away now, will you?
Did you like the girl?
She was a sweet kid.
Well, then help her. She's in trouble.
God, I don't know anything, but there was a guy, a knocked-out musician, trombone player. He went for her. Find him.
Where? What's his name?
Harry Aaron. He used to play here, but when Peggy left...
Peggy?
Yeah, Peggy. Hey, you don't even know her name. What do you want?
Where can I find Harry Aaron?
You get out of here. Beat it.
Take it easy.
Get out before I call the bouncer.
With the clock getting ahead of me, I looked up Harry Aaron in the musician's directory. With only an hour and 10 minutes left, I tried to find him. Yes, he played here, he played there. He was a good boy, but he was always high. I covered one spot after another, time running out, an hour left, 50 minutes, and then finally I hit a rooming house. One of those places where you stay up all day and all night. Anybody goes to sleep, he's a curiosity. There was a jam session going on, and I headed for the music. Five boys were swinging high, but the trombone player was the one I wanted. Skinny, pale face over which hung perspiration-drenched hair. I walked over to him. Hiya, Harry. Harry!
Knock yourself out, grab anything, cut in. What do you play?
Nothing.
What do you drink?
Nothing.
What are you living for?
Harry, come on off the ceiling. Can you hear me? I want to talk about Peggy. Peggy!
What? What do you say?
I want to talk about Peggy. You remember?
What about her? What about Peggy?
Let's get out of here, Harry. There's a coffee shop down the street.
Hey, buy me a drink, huh?
All right. But come on, huh?
Hey, wait a second, wait. Listen to that beat, boy. It's like a train running inside. Grab anything, cut in any place.
Peggy, Harry, Peggy.
You said Peggy?
Harry, you got to come with me. You've got to talk. We got 40 minutes, Harry, and after that, it's kiss the boys goodbye. I made him drink coffee strong and black, and I made him walk until his head cleared up a little, but it took time. Time and only 30 minutes of it left before that execution. And then we sat and talked.
What do you want from me? I'm knocked out, me. The top is all gone, inside gone. What do you want?
Peggy, where is she? And why did she leave?
Who are you?
I'm Stone, Chicago star. Now listen to me. You remember Marty?
Marty, sure. It's Peggy's kid. I got a picture of her right here. Hey? That's Peggy, and that's Marty right there.
Peggy? This is Peggy?
Yeah.
Dark hair, you bleach it blonde, and she... Look, Harry, talk fast. I don't know what we'll get, but tell me when you saw Peggy last and what she said.
She was going away. With him. McCallum.
McCallum, why?
It was one night after the show. She was in a line. She was, the chorus.
Yeah.
I went to see her. I found her packing a suitcase. But she didn't tell me before that she was walking out. She just looked at me.
Say goodbye fast, Harry. Real fast.
Well, why, kid? What's all the rush?
I can't tell you, Harry. Only you're not going to see me anymore.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
You don't, Harry. You don't at all.
Sure, McCallum. I know. We talked a long time to you yesterday.
It's nothing to do with McCallum.
No, sure not. It's nothing to do with a knocked-out horn player either, huh?
Oh, Harry. Don't talk like that.
Okay, I'll play it for you sometime. 20 choruses. I don't blame you, Peggy.
Listen, I got a kid, Marty. I'm sick, you know that. Got maybe a year. Doc said so. What happens to the kid then? What happens to
me? I could...
No.
Maybe I
ain't going to have Marty eating off the trunk. Crackers and milk 3 times a day.
Now, what's McCallum going to do for him?
Say goodbye, Harry. Please.
You know I love you? You know that?
Yes.
Means nothing to you.
For the love of... Harry, get out of here. Don't stand there just looking at me. I won't be able to go through with it. I won't. And I got Harry. For my kid.
When did that happen?
5 months ago.
Just before Lorraine Adams went to trial for murder.
Now, what are you talking about?
Look. This is Lorraine Adams' picture in the paper. Here's Peggy. See, bleach Peggy's hair, and she's Lorraine Adams. McCallum saw that.
You're crazy, Stone. You're crazy. McCallum couldn't make the switch.
He did it before the trial. Lorraine Adams gave herself up a week after she killed her husband. But it wasn't Lorraine, it was Peggy.
You're crazy.
No. In less than half an hour, Peggy will go to the electric chair in place of Lorraine Adams.
What? Well, get her out. You got to do something.
Our only proof is Marty, but he's at McCallum's place.
Stone, she's going to die. You said it. She's going to die. Stone, do something.
Well, I'm going to Joliet to see the warden. You got to do something too, Harry. Find Marty.
It's preposterous, Mr. Stone. Impossible.
But it was done, Warden. And in 10 minutes, a girl will go to the chair. 10 minutes.
I called the governor. He's left it up to me.
Well, then stop the execution.
I can do that only if this girl admits she's not Lorraine Adams. I've broken a rule, Stone, on the strength of what you've told me. The girl is being brought here to the visiting room to talk to you.
And what if she doesn't admit?
There's no proof. The execution is scheduled.
Oh, where is that Harry?
Warden, she's here.
We'll bring her in, Chapel.
Hello, Peggy.
What is your name?
I am Lorraine Adams.
Chaplain. This girl is not Lorraine Adams. Didn't she tell you that?
What she told me, I cannot tell you.
But in a case like this...
Confess my crime to him and to God.
Yes, that you took Lorraine Adams' place. You were tried, convicted, sentenced, and you'll die. In less than 10 minutes, you'll die.
I am Lorraine Adams.
You took her place. You gave yourself up in her place. That's why the real Lorraine Adams was gone for a week, to give you time to bleach your hair and...
I killed my husband.
You're killing yourself. For what? For Marty? For your boy? No, Peggy, no.
Peggy, why don't you?
There's nothing else to say.
Look, you made a bargain with McCallum. What kind of a bargain? That you'd never see your son again? You only had a year to live, but in that year you'd have had him. And what did you leave him to? A vicious gangster who'll never keep his promise to you. You'll die, Peggy, and so will Marty. Yes, he'll die, too. As you know him, he'll be dead. Think what he'll be living with a rat like that.
I'm Lorraine Adams. Lorraine Adams.
Oh, Warden,
I can't believe she'd lie now. She's facing death, Stone. She can't lie.
But she is. For her boy, she would. She would.
Wait a moment.
Marty!
Let him go, Kemp.
Mom, I've been looking lots of places. Mom, it's me, Mom. You got different haircut. No, Mom, you ain't mad at me.
Oh, Marty, baby.
Harry brought me, Mom. He's hurt.
Where is he?
I think... Out here, Mr. Stone.
Hiya, Harry.
Hiya, Stone. Did I get here in time?
Yeah, in time, Harry.
That's real out of this world.
How did you get McCallum?
A long time ago, I bought a gun. I never used it until tonight.
Warden.
I'll get the girl. All right, Peggy.
Hi, Peggy. Hi.
Harry.
Had a hard time trying to get in here.
Take it easy, Harry.
Sure. Peggy, Oh, brother. Am I a knocked-out character? For sure.
Love. L-O-V-E. Spell it one way, interpret it 100 ways. McCallum's for Lorraine Adams. Be willing to wreck anyone else's life. Peggy's for Marty. Harry's for Peggy. Yeah, it's love that makes the world go round. It all depends on who does the spinning. Copy, boy.
You are listening to Night Beat on the Wheaties Big Parade.
Oh, Frank Lovejoy, you have a guest.
I have? Oh, so I have. Welcome, Joel McCrae.
Hello, Frank. I enjoyed your show.
Thank you very much, Joel. I understand that you have a new program that's joining the Wheaties Big Parade. Glad to have you with us.
Glad to be with you. Yes, I'm turning into a Texas Ranger for our new Saturday night program beginning this week.
A Texas Ranger for real, huh?
Well, pretty much for real. These are real stories from the files of the Texas Rangers, you know. Just like your show Night Beat. It's pretty dramatic stuff.
You'll have fun doing them, Joel, and I know that we'll enjoy hearing it. Good night now. Oh, wait a minute. Say, have you got the password?
Password? Oh, sure. Wheaties.
That's right. Night, Joel.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy, is produced and directed by Warren Lewis and edited by Larry Marcus. Tonight's story was written by Russell Hughes from an idea by Bill Kalak with music by Frank Worth. Those in tonight's cast were Lorene Tuttle, David Ellis, Joan Banks, Peter Leeds, Rick Vallon, Herb Butterfield, and Peter Votrian. Listen next week at this time and every week as Randy Stone searches through the city for the strange stories waiting for him in the darkness.
Tuesday, that's tomorrow, listen to the Penny Singleton Show on the Wheaties Big Parade. The preceding was transcribed. Jack Late brings you a fund of interesting stories Friday on NBC.
This I believe. From a new American, born a Czech, who lived for years in China, comes a belief in human kindness which is even more cosmopolitan than its owner. Eva Saxel, a writer and lecturer, has known privation, war, and sickness, and yet the strength and consistency of her faith allowed her to face them with courage and without bitterness.
I believe that it is important to be brought up with a firm belief in the good. I was fortunate in this respect. My parents not only gave me a happy home, but they had me study half a dozen foreign languages and made it possible for me to travel in other countries. This made me more tolerant and helped me to bridge many difficulties in later life. Soon after I had married, my husband and I left our native Czechoslovakia and went to live in Shanghai, China. Here was a really international city. People of all races and creeds lived and worked together. As everywhere there were good and bad people. I found out that most people are kind and good. But in the Orient, one cannot always be certain. Many people do not show their true character openly. Often it is difficult to strike a chord that will get a harmonious response. But when we spoke Chinese, we could strike these chords. In return, the Chinese taught us much about their philosophy of life. In Shanghai in 1941, when I was only 20 years old, the doctors discovered that I had diabetes. It was a terrible shock because diabetes is incurable. But it can be controlled by insulin. Although this drug was not manufactured in China, there were ample stocks of the important insulin available. This enabled me to continue a normal, happy life. Then bombs fell on Pearl Harbor and the Japanese occupied Shanghai. The import of insulin was cut off. Before long, there was not enough for the diabetics. I was on a starvation diet to keep my insulin requirements as low as possible. But my meager supplies soon scraped bottom. Many diabetics had already died and the situation became desperate. Throughout all of it, I never stopped believing that with the help of God and my husband's love and care, I would survive. I continued to teach in Chinese schools. My faith and my husband's never-ending effort to get the manufacture of insulin started gave me courage. Buffalo pancreas was secured, and in a small laboratory, the production of insulin was attempted. I served as the human guinea pig on which it was tested. I'll never forget the day when my husband gave me the first injection of the new insulin which had worked on rabbits. It helped. Can you imagine our happiness and relief? But there were still other things to worry about. Tropical diseases, inflation, and the Japanese military. Oh yes, also American B-29s. once they hit the power plant and cut off our electricity. Without it, no insulin could be made. These were difficult times indeed. Besides my trust in God, I derived the greatest strength from the deep, loving, complete understanding between my husband and me. And next to that was the kindness and help of many, many friends of many nationalities. Even some Japanese civilians, although their country was at war with us, helped whenever they could. To me, who lived under enemy occupation, freedom has a special meaning. My dreams came true when we were sailing towards the United States, where life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness are the rights of every human being. Therefore, this country of people from many lands has so quickly become my cherished home. In it, I believe.
That was Eva Saxel of Jackson Heights, New York, who has learned from experience that kindness and understanding in the face of suffering have very little to do with the color of one's skin, the language he speaks, or the name he calls his God.
Listen while the makers of Rexall drug products and 10,000 independent Rexall family druggists bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, private detective. Good evening. This is Bill Foreman speaking to you for the 10,000 independent druggists who have made the word Rexall part of their own store names. They've done that because they recommend and sell the 2,000 or more drug products made by the Rexall Drug Company. This evening, we want to call your particular attention to Rexall's exciting two-page ad in this coming week's issues of Life, Look, Collier's, the Saturday Evening Post, and in the current issue of Farm Journal. One page is devoted to 10 great new health aids, developed and perfected in Rexall's world-famous laboratories, and now available at Rexall drugstores everywhere. The other page features 10 headline bargains, available all during the month of July, plus 53 additional values in Rexall money-back guaranteed products. So remember, for new and better health aids, for timely household bargains, be sure to check Rexall's sensational two-page spread in this coming week's issues of Life, Look, Collier's, the Saturday Evening Post, and the current Farm Journal. Good health to all from Rexall. Now your Rexall family druggist brings you a transcribed half hour with Richard Diamond, private detective, starring Dick Powell.
Diamond?
That's right. Come in.
My name is Hayden, Gustav Hayden.
How do you do, Mr. Hayden? Won't you have a seat?
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
What can I do for you?
I would like for you to protect me for the next 2 days.
Protect you from what?
Well, maybe I should start at the beginning. By trade, I am a gunmaker. Before I was fortunate to come to this country, I worked in German. Do you mind if I smoke?
Go right ahead. He pulled out a very old hand-carved pipe and stuffed it into a worn leather pouch. He was a little man, a few inches over 5 feet. I guessed his age to be somewhere in the 60s. He talked of his home in Germany before Hitler had moved in with the stormtroopers. He told me about his wife and how she'd died in a prison camp because she was anti-Nazi.
They allowed me to work because I was making a very advanced rifle, and Adolf could use such a rifle. But when they took my wife, I destroyed my blueprints and was myself interned in another prison camp. They tried to beat my secret out of me. I lived, somehow. Then the war was over.
Your pipe's gone out.
Oh, so it is. I hope I'm not boring you, Mr. Diamond.
Well, not at all, no.
I have a sister, Anna. I sent her to America before the trouble came. She's a widow and has one son. Perhaps you have heard of her son, Mr. Diamond. William Ehrlich?
No, I can't say that I have.
Well, you will. He's a lawyer. Someday he will be a very big lawyer.
You said you wanted me to protect you, Mr. Hayden.
Yeah. My sister, with the help of William, arranged for me to come to the United States. I was quite ill when I arrived, and they sent me to our summer cabin in the Catskills.
I soon was better and took great pleasure in this place, so they have allowed me to stay at the cabin, make it my home.
See.
Willie even made for me a complete workshop at my disposal, and in the last 2 years I've occupied myself with my old trade.
Making guns?
Yeah. I have finally produced my new rifle, Mr. Diamond, and someone has tried to steal it.
Well, if somebody's trying to steal it, you should go to the FBI or the police.
I think of that, Mr. Diamond, but it would involve my sister and her son. I'm not sure how good this rifle is until after I test it, and I don't wish to have my family involved unless the rifle is a good one.
Have you any idea who might have tried to steal it?
No.
How long do you want protection?
Only for 2 days when I test the gun, and then I want somebody to go with me to the right people, so I may show the rifle to them.
Well, I charge $100 a day in expenses, Mr. Hayden.
I have no money, only what Billy gives to me each month for living costs, but if you will take a chance with me, Mr. Diamond, that the rifle is a success, I will see you are well rewarded.
And if the government doesn't want the rifle?
Sir, like myself, I also have lost such a time and effort.
Where's the rifle now?
In my shop in the Catskills.
Well, if somebody's already tried to steal it, aren't you taking a big chance?
Oh, that's a caretaker, sir. My nephew hired him when I moved in.
Where was the caretaker when the attempt was made to steal the rifle?
We were both asleep. I heard a noise in the shop and went out to see. Albert, that's the caretaker, heard it also. We both got to the shop about the same time. Whoever it was, we must have frightened him away, but someone had been there. The window was open, and much of my equipment had been moved.
All right, Mr. Hayden, I'll gamble with you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Diamond, thank you. I'm going to see my sister now, but I will meet you at the ticket window 11, Grand Central Station, at 8 o'clock.
Well, look what just walked in.
Hello, Sergeant Otis. You're looking exceptionally well this afternoon. Had a haircut, didn't you?
Yeah, how's it look?
Doesn't it confuse you, Barber, working on 2 heads at once? No. Hello, Walt.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Diamond.
I want you to do me a favor, Fatty.
Rick, I've thought of everything. There's no way I can get rid of Otis and make it look like suicide.
Then do me another favor.
All right.
Check on a man named Gustav Hayden, German citizen. Been in this country for a couple of years.
What's it all about?
Confidential. Like to tell you, but I can't.
Okay, I'll see what I can find out for you.
Thanks. I've got to take a little trip tonight around 8. I'll be at home if you come up with anything.
Hey, what the...
That's Diamond, all right. Pick him up and drag him over to the bed.
Sure. Okay.
Put him up on the bed.
The heavy son of a gun.
Pick him up.
Come on, wake up. He's coming around. Yeah, he's with us.
Okay. Now, don't try to get up or we'll have to belt you again.
Oh, what's this all about?
We want the plans.
Oh, you do, huh?
And we're going to get them.
I guess I'm in a hole. I don't give you the plans, you work me over. Believe me, I hate to mention it, but I haven't got them.
Take off your coat, Max.
Sure.
Go over and turn on that radio.
Right.
Now, look, I told you...
Yeah, I know. You don't have the plans.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
And remember, friends, there's a federal excise tax to pay on all television.
Get some music.
So buy now and...
Turn it up. Okay, come here.
You want me to take over?
Yeah. I'll keep the gun on.
No. Oh, why, you jerk.
Lie down. Go on. Work on these ribs.
Okay. Hey. You better tell us.
Oh, you knuckleheads. I can't tell you if I don't know.
Oh, he's sure stubborn.
hold it. Not a noise out of you, Diamond.
Blue eyes, come on, open up.
Who is it, Diamond?
My brother-in-law.
Come on, Diamond, get out of the sack. I got something for
If you don't want him to get hurt, get rid of him.
But he's got something for me.
Well, get it and tell him to beat it. Go on over to the door, but don't let him in. I'll be right behind you.
Okay.
Well, it's about time. Say, what's with you?
Look,
I thought you...
Walt, tell Marge and the kids I can't come over. I'm busy.
What? Look...
And about the fur coat, tell her I couldn't get it for under $4.18.
Huh?
$4.18, and I don't want to get stuck with it.
Oh. Yeah, sure. I'll tell her.
You said you had something for me?
It'll keep. I'll give it to you when you got more time.
Sorry, but you know how it is. Business.
Sure.
Tell Marge I'm sorry I couldn't come over.
I'll tell her. See you soon.
Hey.
Yeah?
What kind of a coat you buy for $418?
A beaver.
A beaver? Well, I could have gotten it for you for half.
Forget it. Over on the bed, Diamond.
Look, I swear I don't know about plans or anything else.
We got a lot of time. Maybe after a little while you remember. Move.
All right.
Now, let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah.
Come on, Diamond. The plans the little guy gave you.
Sorry, I wish I could help.
We know the guy came to your office an hour ago. If he didn't give you the plans, he told you where they are.
I had one customer in the office today.
Yeah, and what did he want? Max?
Look. It wasn't anything about plans.
What was it? Again, Max.
Max kept working, and I took it. For one reason, because I had to. For another, I knew Walt had gotten a 418 tip. In police code, that meant a slugging. It was sooner than I expected. I looked over at the open window at the back of the room, and there was Walt, looking in from the fire escape.
Come on, Diamond. I'm getting tired.
And I feel rested, huh?
Okay.
Drop the gun.
Wait, look
out. Rick?
Okay. Here. Get this guy off me, Walt.
There.
Oh, thanks.
Well, this one's had it.
You got both of them.
This one tried, the other went for his. They're both dead.
Oh, turn off that radio, will you?
Okay.
Why were they working you over?
Well, they wanted something I didn't have. Something they thought my client gave me this afternoon.
Gustav Hayden?
Yeah. You find out anything about him?
Well, nothing incriminating. Got a whole background on him here.
I'll read it on the way down to Grand Central. Hayden didn't want the law in on this, but with 2 men dead, as far as I'm concerned, that puts it right in your lap.
This coming week's issues of Life, Look, Collier's, the Saturday Evening Post, and the Current Farm Journal carry an important 2-page Rexall ad. One page features 10 great new health aids, developed and perfected in Rexall's world-famous laboratories, and now available at Rexall drugstores everywhere. The other page features 10 headline bargains good all during July. Here are just a couple of examples. Rexall 5X multivitamins, the tablets that are 5 times stronger than the established daily requirement of all vitamins with known minimums. Special introductory offer, 10-day trial size, a regular $1.79 value, free of extra cost, with the purchase of the regular bottle of 50. Stag Brushless Shave Cream, regular 50-cent jumbo tube, now only 25 cents, exactly half price. So remember, for new and finer health aids, for bigger and better bargains, be sure to check Rexall's sensational 2-page ad in this coming week's issues of Life, Look, Collier's, the Saturday Evening Post, and the Current Farm Journal. And now back to tonight's adventure with Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
Well, this is it, Walt. I was supposed to meet him here at the ticket window.
Oh, where is he?
I don't see him. This is ticket window 11. Let's give him a few minutes. And we gave Gustav Haydn more than a few minutes. At 8 o'clock, we were still waiting. At 8:15, the train Haydn and I were supposed to take pulled out.
You stood up.
Yeah. Let's check with the ticket seller. Pardon me, sir. May I talk with you for a minute?
Certainly. What can I do for you?
Police business.
Oh.
Did you notice a little man standing near this window? About 5'3", big bunch of gray hair, old brown hat and suit, button shoes.
Smoking a big pipe?
That's it?
Sure, couldn't help but notice him. Stood around for about 15 minutes.
See him leave?
Yeah, left with a man, big guy.
You remember what the big guy looked like?
I didn't pay much attention, just big.
What do you think, Rick?
I think we better look up Gustav Haydn's sister.
But what is this all about, Lieutenant? Gustav left for the train station an hour ago. He was going back to the mountains.
No, it's nothing to be alarmed about, Mrs. Ehrlich. He just didn't take the train.
Are you certain?
We checked.
But I still don't understand. Mr. Diamond, what is your interest in my brother?
Well, he retained me this morning to protect him.
To protect him?
Protect him from what?
Well, Mr. Ehrlich, he said someone was trying to steal a new rifle he was developing.
A new rifle?
A gun he started designing a long time ago in Germany.
He never told us anything about it.
Well, I don't believe he wanted to involve you until it was all finished and tested. If it was a success, he was going to turn it over to the government.
He certainly kept it a secret. I helped him fix up a workshop, but I just thought it was to keep him occupied. An old man, you know, wanted to keep busy.
And Mr. Diamond, you think something's happened to him because of this rifle?
Well, maybe not. But if you hear from him, please contact Lieutenant Levinson at the 5th Precinct Police Station. Anna Ehrlich gave us the location of the mountain cabin where Haydn was living, and we left. Walt went back to the station, put out a description on the missing gunsmith, and I caught the next train for the Catskills. It was morning when I climbed off the train and hired an old car to take me the 5 miles back into the woods. 20 minutes of bumpy road, and I arrived at the cabin to be met with the caretaker. Thanks, driver.
You want something?
Oh, yes, Mr. Haydn.
What did you want him for?
He's here.
Didn't you think he'd be?
I'd like to talk to him, please.
I don't know. He's in kind of a strange mood. He came in about 4 this morning, acting like he'd seen a...
Albert.
Yeah, Mr. Haydn.
Show the gentleman in.
Yes, sir.
It will be all, Albert.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Diamond, what are you doing here?
I saw your sister.
You talked with my sister?
That's right.
Your face is bruised.
2 men beat me up.
Mr. Diamond, I did not meet you at the station because I changed my mind. I am so sorry you made this long trip, but I have no need for your service.
Oh, what changed your mind?
I decided not to go on.
Who was the man you left the station with, the big man? The ticket agent saw you.
Oh, he must have made a mistake.
This is police business now, Mr. Haydn.
Please leave.
I can't. I want to know what this is all about.
Please, I can't tell you.
I'd like to see your rifle, Mr. Haydn.
Mr. Diamond, I don't care what has happened. I cannot allow you.
Mr. Haydn, you might as well cooperate. If I leave here, I'll leave with you.
Oh, no. You don't know what it would mean.
Look, the 2 men who beat me up are dead. There's a dragnet out for you. Now, if you want me to help, maybe I can do you some good. It's up to you.
I must think.
Okay. But while you're thinking, I'd like to see that rifle.
Of course. I keep it locked in this closet. All that's left is to test it.
Beautiful. I'd like to fire it.
I have decided to tell you everything, Mr. Diamond.
And I'm glad.
You were right about the big man I was leaving the station with. He warned me to forget my dealings with you and not to call in the police. Then he drove me here and demanded the rifle and the plans. I told him the rifle was not nearly finished, but I gave him a set of blueprints and he left.
Then they've got the plans?
They have some plans. I expected something like this, and I drew up several sets of blueprints that will be no good to anyone. But I don't know what to do now. My sister and her son are in danger.
The first thing we've got to do is get a hold of Lieutenant Levinson and tell him I found you. He'll give your family an armed guard if necessary.
But we don't know who these men are, who they're working for. You can't guard my sister and nephew forever.
That's a matter for the FBI. We've got 2 dead bodies to identify. They might give us a lead. Oh, somebody just drove up.
We can see from this window.
You know the car?
Well, it looks like Willie's car.
Oh, it is your nephew.
Oh, why did he come here? Willie!
Oh, Uncle Gustav, we've been worried sick. We couldn't wait to hear from Mr. Diamond, so I drove up. Mother's beside herself.
Oh, sorry, Willie. I should have notified you.
Mr. Diamond said you left the station with a man.
We'll tell you all about it on the way back, Alec. I've got to put in a call to the lieutenant and tell him to call off the dogs.
The telephone is in the other room, Mr. Diamond.
Thanks.
I'm sorry to make all this trouble, Willie.
I couldn't do anything else. What's this all about? Mr. Diamond mentioned something about a new rifle.
I was going to tell you, but I wanted to wait until I was certain of its performance.
But you certainly should have told me. I could have helped.
Hello? Hello, operator.
Uncle Gustav, you think that would have made...
Operator.
What have you and Anna have done for me? oh, Mr. Diamond.
Hey, the phone's dead.
What?
We've never had any trouble with it before.
That's what I was afraid of. Where's that caretaker?
He was here a moment ago.
Albert! Albert!
Yes, sir?
The phone's dead, Albert.
Well, it was working all right a little while ago. I called the store and ordered some groceries.
Come on, you're going to show us those phone lines.
That's the phone line coming down from the trees. Over the house right... Well, what do you know?
Yeah, the line's been cut.
What?
That's right, Mr. Hayden.
Mrs. Diamond.
Now, just take it easy. Mr. Ehrlich, we're all going to pile in your car and get out of here.
Wait. Don't you see what this can mean? My sister's alone back in New York. You can't reach the police to give us the necessary protection.
Well, we certainly can't stay here.
We must. I can't take a chance on my sister's life. I will give them the rifle and the plan.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. If you give it to them, you don't think they're going to let you live, or for that matter, let any one of us get out of here alive.
I'm an old man. It doesn't matter.
Sorry. We're all getting into that car.
No, Mr. Diamond. I cannot.
Wait a minute, Diamond. In a way, he's right. My mother's life is important also.
I can appreciate that, Mr. Ehrlich. But we're only presuming she might be in danger. We know that your uncle is, and that rifle's too important.
I won't leave.
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to, and I wouldn't like to use force. Now, come on. All of you get in that car.
Wait just a minute, Mr. Diamond. No one's leaving this cabin.
Look, Ehrlich.
You look.
Really? You don't have to use a gun.
I'm afraid I do, Uncle.
But you can't.
Shut up and get over there with Mr. Diamond.
Really?
Shut up, you old fool. Get over there.
You better do as he says.
But I don't understand.
It's not too hard to figure out.
Albert.
Yeah?
Go and get that rifle.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Go and get the rifle. Look, I'm the man you've been expecting.
You?
Of course. Do you think I would have hired you as caretaker unless I knew you were working with us? Now go bring that rifle.
Yes, sir.
Really? You are behind all this?
Oh, now, don't be so naive, Uncle. I've been with the party for years.
The party?
Certainly. You didn't think we were a bunch of thugs, did you?
There's a difference?
That's all right, Diamond. Enjoy yourself. We don't have too long.
I simply can't believe it. And Anna?
Mother knows nothing about it. She couldn't understand.
And Albert telling everything I did.
And that's how they kept such close tabs on you, Mr. Hayden. They tried to get the gun first by stealing it. When you came to my office, they thought you'd given me the plans and sent 2 of their strong arms to beat it out of me. That didn't pay off, so they had you picked up at the station. You gave the big man the wrong plans, and up came your sweet little nephew.
But why didn't Albert steal it? He could have many times.
He'd have been the first one suspected.
Quite shrewd, Mr. Diamond.
Oh, yeah, I'm a dilly. You played it pretty cozy, too, Ehrlich. Even your own man didn't know you were running the show.
Here it is, Mr. Ehrlich. I brought some shells in case you wanted to see it work.
Ah, good. Well, Uncle, I suppose you're just as interested in the performance of your rifle as I am. You can try it right here, Albert.
Yes, sir.
Pick a good target. Walk down the road about 100 yards and see if you can kill Mr. Diamond on the first shot.
Really?
Now, relax, Mr. Hayden. There's nothing we can do about it.
You are completely right for the first time, Mr. Diamond. Go ahead, Albert. Move away, Uncle. And if you try anything, Mr. Diamond, then I shall have to shoot you. Move away, Uncle.
No. I think I should stand with my friend.
Mr. Hyden, please.
I am sure they don't intend to let me live anyway.
Oh, on the contrary, Uncle. We were planning a long voyage for you. We know of a place that could use a man of your talents.
I see. I prefer to stand with my friend.
Very well. Albert.
Yeah?
Don't do it, Mr. Hyden.
After Mr. Diamond, Mr. Hyden.
Both of them?
First, Mr. Diamond, then my uncle.
Okay. It's good enough.
No, move further down. I want my uncle to see how good his gun really is.
Okay. But the first couple of shots might be off. This thing hasn't been zeroed in yet.
Mr. Hyden, please get out of the way.
Is it all right if I smoke my pipe?
Oh, certainly.
There's nothing like a good pipe and good tobacco. Did you ever see Germany before the war, Mr. Diamond?
No.
In the spring, beautiful. I used to take long walks and smoke my pipe. I can't complain. I have some wonderful memories.
You ever see Hell's Kitchen in the middle of the summer?
No.
Stinks.
It's okay.
Well, Mr. Diamond?
Get it over with.
That's fine. All right, Albert.
I hope to talk with you again, Mr. Diamond. Someplace.
You're a nice guy, Gus.
Mr. Diamond.
Is he dead?
Oh, I don't know. I'm still too scared to find out.
You're scared? I didn't know whether I could hit him or not. You made a fine rifle, Mr. Hyden.
Mr. Diamond, he shot Willie. He wasn't even trying to hit you.
Oh, I think I'd better sit down.
But I don't understand.
Oh, wait until good old Albert gets back here. I think you'll find out he's more than a caretaker, bless his little heart. And good old Albert was a little more than a caretaker. His real name was Baxter, special agent for the FBI, working for the past 6 years as undercover man inside Ehrlich's organization. The last time I saw Gus, the government has accepted his rifle. He was smiling and smoking his old pipe. We talked for a long time, just like he had hoped we would.
In the summertime especially, lots of women are unhappy about their figures. If you are overweight, why waste another minute? You can get rid of those ugly extra pounds quickly and easily with the new Ann Delafield reducing plan. This is a safe, sound, scientific way to slim down with no drugs, starving, or calorie counting. Still, you may lose up to 5 pounds a week and lose where it shows. No, it's not magic. It's the work of famous beauty and health authority, Ann Delafield, who has successfully reduced more overweight people than any other expert in the world. So you see, you're sure of the best. You get vitamins, appetite-reducing wafers, and a big beauty book to guide you. Ask for the new Ann Delafield reducing plan at Rexall drugstores everywhere. Good health to all from Rexall. Richard Diamond, Private Detective, stars Dick Powell in the title role and was written by Blake Edwards with music composed and conducted by Frank Worth. Dick Powell directed the RKO production Split Second, which is now in release. And his latest film appearance was in the Metro Golden Mayer award-winning The Bad and the Beautiful. Heard in tonight's cast were Wilms Herbert, Arthur Q. Bryan, Clayton Post, John Daner, Virginia Gregg, and Tim Graham. Richard Diamond, Private Detective, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. This is Bill Foreman inviting you to be with us next Sunday at this time when Rexall Drug Products again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective. Remember, Remember, for new and finer health aids, for bigger and better bargains, check Rexall's important 2-page ad in next week's issues of Life, Look, Collier's, the Saturday Evening Post, and in the Current Farm Journal.
America now listens to 105 million radio sets and listens most to the CBS Radio Network.
This I believe. Dr. Everett Case is the president of Colgate University. After graduating from Princeton and Cambridge, he went on with graduate work at Harvard University, where he later returned to become an assistant dean. Meanwhile, he became an expert on U.S. monetary history and the problems of the New York dairy farmer. Also, he is a Far Eastern authority, for in 1949 he was appointed a consultant to the Secretary of State. Here now is Dr. Case.
First of all, I believe in the examined life. I do not say this simply because I am an educator and therefore given to quoting Socrates. Rather, I am an educator because I believe it. For it seems to me that it is only as we examine life that we can hope to discover its meaning. I believe, too, in the potency of ideas. Consequently, I believe that the educated man or woman has an obligation to subject ideas to a constant and critical scrutiny in the effort to distinguish the true from the false. Certainly, I believe in the essential reality of good and evil in human experience. Of the terrible reality of evil, even to the grossest violations of the human mind and spirit, our age requires no further proof. On the other hand, who will deny the good which one encounters daily in likely and unlikely places? Certainly the totalitarian assault on the mind has bred an extraordinary will to resist, and thousands have died rather than betray their own integrity. Isn't this the essence of the Christian concept? Isn't it, in strictly human terms, precisely what led to the passion of Jesus? Next, I believe in a universe ordered by law, which applies to man as well as matter. Just as the natural sciences are constantly throwing new light on the laws of nature, so the biological sciences are providing fresh insights into the laws of human nature. This task is complex, however, because man is at once a sentient and a spiritual being. Prick him and he bleeds. Prick him in his honor and he will forget all else to vindicate himself. Man's nature is such that in the long run he cannot be happy in the face of injustice. Thus his sense of values is important. What will he risk to fight injustice? What does he risk in refusing to fight it? Here the so-called humanities, philosophy, religion, history, and the arts are important if a man is to understand himself and all that is involved in his own decisions. For decisions can be difficult, especially when the issues are not clear-cut or a conflict in loyalties is involved. Suppose I deeply believe both in justice and in peace and find them incompatible. How am I to choose? It is, you say, a matter of judgment, and I agree. But human judgment is fallible, and had better be informed. Informed by what? By the intelligence. But what if that be warped or vicious? By virtue, then. But what if virtue be naive? I suggest that we need both. Virtue alone may be futile. Intelligence alone may be fatal. Together they develop the discipline, the humility, and the perspective which add up to the beginnings of wisdom. Finally, I believe in human freedom, not as an end in itself, but as the necessary means to the pursuit of other and supremely important ends. deny it, and you forbid the very examination of life, or at least an honest report on what you find. It is only as freedom survives that man can develop fresh insights into his own nature or that of the world he inhabits. And it is only as this freedom is used with honesty, courage, and skill, in short, with wisdom, that man can hope to remold his constantly shattered world nearer to his heart's desire.
That was Dr. Everett Case, who, as president of Colgate University, helps young minds to examine themselves and the world around them.
Mr. District Attorney, starring David Bryan. Mr. District Attorney, champion of the people, defender of truth, guardian of our fundamental rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And it shall be my duty as district attorney not only to prosecute to the limit of the law all persons accused of crimes perpetrated within this county, but to defend with equal vigor the rights and privileges of all its citizens. This is David Bryan. In a moment, we'll bring you another case from the files of Mr. District Attorney. But first, a word from our sponsor.
And now, here is our star, David Bryan, as Paul Garrett, Mr. District Attorney.
Now and then, a district attorney comes up against an alibi that seems unbreakable. Even though he may be almost certain of guilt, unless he can shatter the alibi, another criminal remains at large. Take the case of the man who saw murderous possibilities in a certain recorded sound effect.
Hello?
Mrs. Polk?
Yes?
This is Mrs. Brenning next door.
Oh, yes.
Can you come over for a few minutes? There's a certain matter I want to talk to you about. It concerns you and my husband.
Why, I don't know what you mean, Mrs. Brenning.
I'll be expecting you. Husband. You're home early, Morton.
Yes. Have you come to any decision, my dear?
I gave you my decision this noon. Absolutely no.
Josephine, you've got to listen to reason. George is in serious trouble.
I don't want to hear any more about your worthless son. Never should have recommended him for that job at the bank. Absconding with all that money.
I've got to have $10,000 at once. Call it a monetary advance if you want to. After all, your will leaves everything to me.
That was my mistake. Letting you persuade me to change my will. But I'm going to rectify that mistake tomorrow. In fact, I'll call my lawyer right now.
Oh, no, you won't. Don't touch that phone.
What's that?
Just what it looks like. A recording. Only this is a recording of a woman's scream. I'm pretty far-sighted, Josephine. That's why I had the time motor put on this record player. Now, since I can't get that money one way, I'll get it another.
Don't you dare come near me. Put down that knife.
What? Me? Who the devil? Wait a minute, Paula. Don't go in there.
Well, your wife told me to come over. Hope it was all right to come in this back door. What's the matter, Morton?
I just killed Josephine.
You what?
Do as I say, or I'll swear you helped me kill her.
Morton, are you out of your mind?
Listen to me. Go back home. When you hear a scream, come to your window. Look over here. They question you later. Say you saw a man climb out our living room window. You've been at Lord's. Josephine's first husband. Describe him as the man.
But what are you going to do?
Get an alibi. Patrolman calls in out here in the corner at 4:10. Just that now. Now, get home, quick.
Merciful heavens.
afternoon, Rooney. Fine day.
It is indeed, Mr. Blenny.
Would you mind slipping this letter in the drop box down the street?
Not at all, sir.
Stupidly brought it home from the store in my pocket.
I've done things like that myself.
Here's a couple of cigars.
Well,
And thanks. What was that?
Came from inside your house, Mr. Blenny.
Come on. Josephine! Josephine! You all right? Oh, good Lord. Josephine! Josephine!
She's dead, sir. Looks like murder to me.
Terrible.
I'll be using your telephone, Mr. Blenny, to call the homicide.
Sorry I couldn't get word to you sooner, sir.
My fault, Harrington. Forgot to tell Miss Miller I was going to the library. Lucky I called the office. Knife murder, huh?
Yeah, according to the medical examiner.
Was her husband home when it happened?
Yeah, but he's clear, Chief. He was out talking with the beat cop, Rooney. They heard her scream twice, came in, and found her dead.
You talked to Rooney?
Yeah, but not with Blanning, though. He was gone when I got here.
Gone where?
Down to headquarters to put his story on the tape. They said he volunteered to go. Wanted to get out of here. I guess he was pretty much upset.
Oh, naturally. And speaking of records, that's quite a record player over there.
Yeah, honey of a console, isn't it? Must have cost plenty.
You know anything about these Blennings, Harrington?
Just that he inherited a raft of frozen food money.
A fellow named Blenning absconded from the City National Bank a couple of days ago. He may be a relative.
District Attorney's Office.
Paul Garrett, Miss Miller.
Yes, Mr. Garrett.
Get me a complete fill-in on the Blennings, 798 Parkside Avenue. Ages, relationships, family backgrounds, divorces, the works.
Yes, sir. That's the Allingham?
Right. I'll also check the City National. Get what you can on the Blenning who worked there. Oh, that's all.
All right, Mr. Garrett.
And check all the neighbors, Harrington. Maybe someone was seen coming in or leaving here. Get on it.
Right.
Good morning, Mr. Garrett.
Good morning, Miss Miller. You're in early.
Well, let's get these reports typed up.
Oh, thanks. Filling on the Blennings, eh?
Some of it. Records and identification said they'd have a complete report by tonight.
Well, tell them to get all they can.
I'll call them back, Mr. Garrett. District Attorney's Office.
Hell, how bright you sound at this hour of the morning.
Poetry yet. What do you want to hear?
The chief there?
Just a minute, Mr. Garrett.
Yes, Harrington?
Hiya, Chief. I'm at 800 Parkside Avenue, next house to the Blennings. There's a Mrs. Flora Polk here. Says she saw a guy come out the window time of murder.
Thought you checked that neighborhood yesterday.
So I did. She just told me she was home then. Too scared to come to the door. What, with the murder and everything?
Okay, be right along. Wait for me there. Well, maybe Harrington's found something, maybe not. Can't always rely on the story of these women who don't dare answer the doorbell. I have a hunch this will be a tough case.
Oh, come in, Chief. Whew. Boy, smoke from that incinerator's thick. Blenning must be burning a year's trash.
On that Blenning?
Oh, yeah. I asked Mrs. Polk. You'd think with all their money they'd have a gardener burning that trash over there. But maybe that's why they got their money. This way, Chief.
And did Mrs. Polk telephone in this morning?
No, I did a repeat checkup. Oh, Mrs. Polk, this is Mr. Garrett, the district attorney.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Won't you sit down?
Yeah.
Thank you. Mrs. Polk, would you recognize this man if you saw him again? The one you saw come out that window?
Yes, I'm sure I would. He was quite tall, thin, had a slight limp. Yes, I'd recognize him.
By any chance, did you recognize him?
I can't say for sure, Mr. Garrett. I'd hate to wrong an innocent man, but he looked a great deal like Mr. Lawrence, Mrs. Blenning's first husband.
Well, how did you happen to see him come out the window?
I was sitting here reading, heard a scream, got up and went to the window, just in time to see him. He ran across the yard and into the alley.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Polk. You've been very useful.
If there's anything else,
We may want you to come to headquarters later on to identify the man you saw. We'll have the police pick up Lawrence right away.
You look like that chap that caught the canary hearing.
We did. That is, the chief did. Got Lawrence dead to rights.
Did he confess?
No, he says he was sick in his apartment for several days. The trouble is he can't prove it. Didn't have a doctor, nobody saw him. But Mrs. Polk took one look at him in the lineup, said he was the man.
Quick work.
Once in a dog's age, they break that way, Miss Miller. Seemed like a nice guy, though. Kind of bewildered. But you never can tell. Well, congratulations, Chief.
For what?
For buttoning up this case.
Tell me something, Harrington. When a guy with a bum leg like Lawrence's jump out a window that far above the ground?
Well, I don't know. You might.
Where he could have come out the door more easily and quickly?
Yeah, I see what you mean, Chief.
A stranger might have picked the window. Lawrence lived in that house for years.
And we're barking up the wrong tree.
That's right. We've got to find out more about the people involved. Family undercurrents. Miss Miller.
Yes, sir?
Call Mrs. Dean, Mrs. Blenning's daughter. Tell her we're coming out to talk to her. Then call Brian, Detective Division. Have him put a stakeout on the Blenning's house. Joe Harris, if he's available.
Joe's a good man.
Also a stakeout on Blenning's store. All right, Harrington. Let's get busy. Now, Blenning's been playing around with Flora Polk.
Mary Dean could have made that up, Chief. Could be prejudice.
I don't think so. But I'm getting a motive and a pattern out of all this. Oh, there's your store.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know this neighborhood. A friend of mine used to work at that recording company over there. Sound department. Had to quit. Squeals and squawks were putting holes in his head.
I'm Garrett, District Attorney, Mr. Blenning. This is my assistant, Harrington. Haven't had occasion to talk to you before. Now we'd like some information.
Well, I'm glad to oblige, Mr. Garrett. What do you want to know?
The day your wife was killed, you went home an hour before your usual quitting time. Why?
No particular reason, but I do like your manner. Surely you don't suspect anyone other than Lawrence, do you?
It's barely possible I do.
From the way you said that, I'm glad I have a perfect alibi.
That's what you think.
And just remember this, Blenning. There's never yet been an alibi so perfect it couldn't be cracked. Put that on your record, Claire. This is David Bryan. Before we continue with Mr. District Attorney in the case of the perfect alibi, here's an important message from our sponsor.
And now back to David Bryan, starring as Paul Garrett, Mr. District Attorney.
I was practically certain that Morton Blenning had killed his wife. But to prove it was something else again. Since Rooney, the beat cop, swore that Blenning was outside the house with him when Mrs. Blenning screamed. Now, several days later at the office, you can only find that murder weapon, Harrington.
Well, the papers say Lawrence will tell the cops where it is any minute now.
The papers.
Yeah, you better sit down, Chief. Take it easy. Weigh yourself up walking around like that.
Oh, that's the trouble. Everybody thinks they've got the murderer, so why break their necks looking further?
No cooperation.
Well, or I'll know the reason why. Yes, Miss Miller?
I just got a report from R&I, Mr. Garrett. Took it down in shorthand, so if you want to hear it now.
Yes, bring it in, will you?
Yes, sir.
Another thing, Harrington. If we could account for those screams.
You could be wrong about Blenning, Chief. Not that I think you are, but you could be.
Maybe I am. And I'm not giving up yet.
I'll have to read this. They gave it to me over the phone, Mr. Garrett.
All right.
Morton Blenning, alias Max Bannister, from San Francisco. Wins record as confidence man and swindler.
Now you're cooking.
Occasionally works swindle with son George. Favorite racket, marries wealthy woman. Persuades her to put money in joint bank accounts. Leaves with money. It worked his racket half a dozen times, that's all.
Good enough. Thanks.
Looks like you could be right about him now.
So what if the guy is a swindling racketeer, Harrington? This is a murder case. The fact that he's slept with half a dozen rich women has no bearing on the case. You can't sell that to the jury.
Oh, you're so right. Smoke cheap?
No, thanks. I gotta dig deeper, Harrington. A lot deeper. Gotta find that murder weapon and... Wait a minute. Smoke. Oh, Blenning was burning trash in that incinerator, wasn't he?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Well, they've got a gardener over there. That's his job. Remember? Mary Dean said Blenning wouldn't do any work around the place on a bet.
Hey, I follow you, Chief.
Grab your hat. Oh, Miss Miller, have O'Brien find out if the Blenning's gardener was given any time off, day of the murder or day afterwards.
Yes, sir. When can I reach him, Mr. Garrett?
You can't. I'll be looking at an incinerator.
What if the Pope dame's looking out her window, Chief?
I don't think we'll let that stop us, Harrington.
Well, no, but she might talk it around.
That's okay with me. If the word gets to the killer, might cause him to make a wrong move.
Here's your stakeout, Chief.
You see anything, Joe?
No. All quiet. Need me on this, Mr. Garrett?
No. Keep going.
Yeah.
They sure built this incinerator to handle that trash.
Yeah, it's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a good thing those bushes block off the view from Blenning's house.
Well, hand me that rake, Harrington. The iron rake.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if there's anything under those ashes.
Plenty of them. Don't they ever clean out this pit?
It doesn't look that way. You hit something then. Push those ashes aside with your hand.
Yeah?
No. Where the rake is. Did you find anything?
No. Just this piece of a phonograph record. Most of the labels burned off. Throw it back in again, Chief?
Yeah, you better hang on to it. It may be no good. Ain't overlook a thing, though. Anything else down in there? Not this rake hit metal.
No, I guess not. Wait a minute. Hold on. Here's something. Knife blade.
Let me see that. Long-bladed pocket knife. Handle burned off. Doesn't look rusty. Been thrown in there recently.
I'll wrap it up in my handkerchief.
Yeah, we'll have the lab boys go over it. Might be just what we're looking for. I'll go over that piece of phonograph record, too.
You think they were both thrown in with the same lot of trash?
I have no idea, Harrington. Let's go.
Yes, Flora?
I've had to come over, Morton. There were 2 men at the incinerator. They just left.
Who were they?
I think it was that district attorney and his assistant. I couldn't be sure. I just happened to see them as they were leaving. Their backs were towards me.
Come on.
Careful, Morton. You said a man was watching the house.
Right now, he's down the block, sitting in his car.
Oh, I wish I'd never gotten into this.
But you're in it. So keep your mouth shut and do as I tell you.
Morton, you're hurting me. Please.
You're going to testify at Lawrence's trial. You're going to stick to your story. You saw him jump out that window.
He never did me any harm. I wish I'd never seen you. I tell you, I'm going away. I won't stay in this place another day. I mean that.
All right. You're going away. That may be the best plan. I'll help you.
Oh, will you please?
Over tonight after dark, when that detective can't see you. We'll find out your trip, where you're going, when you leave, everything.
I'll come over. Oh, I do need your help, Morton. I'm so frightened.
You won't have to be frightened much longer. Run along now, Flora. And remember, after dark.
Oh, I was about to call you at the lab, Mr. Garrett.
Anything new come in?
Yes, Lieutenant O'Brien called. The Blenning's gardener was fired the day before the murder.
Call Detective Division back. Tell O'Brien and the lab found nothing on that knife blade except the maker's name impressed on the metal. San Francisco address. Oh, here it is. I wrote it down. Have O'Brien and this cooperation of San Francisco police checking retail stores that sell that make of knife.
Right away, Mr. Garrett.
Oh, any word from Harrington?
Not this afternoon. He said he was going over to that recording company, the one near Blenning's store.
Yes. He got a lucky break on that piece of phonograph record.
District Attorney's office.
Hiya, beautiful. Let me talk to the chief, will you?
Just a second, Harrington. Mr. Garrett.
Well, thanks. Yes, Hyden?
Hiya, chief. I just got word on that record. It was one missing, apparently stolen from their sound effects files.
Any tie-in with Blenning?
Yep. Up until the other day, Blenning used to drop in there quite a bit. Got friendly with the boss. Took a lot of interest in their sound effects.
So, how can we use that?
Get this. That sound effect was a woman's scream.
Give me that again?
That's right. Woman screams twice.
Harrington, I love you. Get a copy of that record. Bring it to Station 16 right away. Meet you there.
Right, Chief.
Oh, Miss Miller, call Captain Davis at 16. Tell him I want Officer Rooney there in 15 minutes.
If Rooney's off duty?
Get him there in 15 minutes.
Pretty cute trick, Chief, using that record.
Pretty deadly trick.
Rooney seemed to be sure that's what he heard.
Sure. It's what he did hear. Pull him here, Hyden.
Well, if Rooney's right, it shoots that folk dame story full of holes. You think she's in on this deal with him?
I don't know. Walk on the lawn. Don't make any noise.
Wait a minute. Who's that?
Joe Harris. He's been briefed on this.
Mr. Garrett?
Yeah.
Mrs. Polk just went into Blenning's house. Back door.
No, we're going that way. Come with us, Joe.
Yes, sir.
I got a skeleton key in case the door's locked.
We need it. Careful now. Be quiet. Unlocked.
You know it's not my fault. I got this second here.
Shh, quiet.
I told you 3 times your wife phoned for me to come over.
The fact remains, my dear, that you are mixed up. Unfortunately for you.
But you said...
Easy now.
Said you'd help me. What are you going to do?
Make sure you won't do any talking.
No!
Grab him, Hyden.
No, you don't. No, you. Oh, well, handcuffs you want, handcuffs you get. Put him on.
Right.
Now, sit down that chair.
You men have no right to force entrance into this house.
I have a warrant for your arrest, Blenning, alias Bannister, for the murder of your wife.
I'll let my lawyer do the talking.
What have you to say, Mrs. Polk?
I don't know.
Well?
Nothing. I've got nothing to say.
Infatuation can be carried too far, Mrs. Polk. Beautiful record player. Time, motor, everything. I want you to hear this.
What is it?
You'll recognize it, Blenning. Officer Rooney has already identified those screens. What about you, Mrs. Polk?
I don't know.
Blenning?
Got nothing to say.
Maybe he'd like to hear that again, Chief.
You'll have the chance.
No, I can't stand it. I'll tell you all I know. Just get me out of here. Please.
Okay. If you're the victim of the circumstances that I think you are, you can count on my help. Next time, though, I pick my friends more carefully. Joe, take Mrs. Polk down to headquarters. We'll be right along.
Yes, sir.
So you killed her with a knife, Blenning, when she wouldn't come across with her money.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And those San Francisco police are really on the ball, Blenning. They work fast.
I don't know a thing.
Well, wait till we start throwing the book at you. The testimony of Mrs. Polk. All those wives of yours. Bigamy and murder. Better enjoy this ride down to headquarters, Blenning. It'll be one of the last you'll ever take.